Yeah, absolutely, and I think that's always, a good lesson. Also, when you don't remember what's happening in campaign, to assess like how's the current situation. Is that are we in a good position? Are we in a bad position?
Well, just looking at the Avenger, we can start piecing together this puzzle, right? We have 2 contacts on May 19th. This isn't the most difficult position to be in, but this is certainly less than ideal. This entire campaign has been less than ideal, with certain timers and things of that nature. I noticed we only have 92 intel, which also tells me we can't even get a third region open, which is certainly something to consider.
Yeah,
We
we're close, right? Also,
Yeah,
2 engineers, 3 scientists is a little bit on the low side. Middle
but we do
middle
have
of May.
one basic research, and we do have mag weapons coming online. The mag weapons are definitely feeling a little later than necessary right now. Jumping over into our commander's quarters, I do notice we have a scientist on a strength 1 region where we've done Liberation 1. We know this from the dots here. 1 dot means you've completed Liberation 1, 2 dots, you completed Liberation 2. 3 dots, you should have the tower on the map. And if you have the HQ Assault, you have 4. Right, there's no 3 dot or 4 dot icon here, it's just 1 and 2. But yeah, Eastern US is at 6 strength and Western Europe at 1 strength with only 44 legions on the map. So we have killed 1 legion, we know that for sure. And the reason I know that is because UFOs come down in even numbers, and on Legendary we start with 37 legions on the map. So we can definitely deduce that we've killed 1.
And was also interesting to see here, so the vigilance numbers. So I think in Eastern US we haven't been doing something for a while. So vigilance has started to drop down again. It's down to 7. Western Europe was at 9. So we actually have a higher vigilance there, but still sitting on strength 1, which is unusual, and we'll probably see a lot of strength coming into that region soon. So you either need to hurry up and get the liberation chain done, or get some squeeze some intel out of that region and expand.
Yeah, it's certainly looking like we're trying to catch some troop columns and supply rates. Pet Rock, how are you, buddy? If I look at our like squads, typically where we can see what's going on with our missions, we do have 1 mission deployed right now, and that looks like it's freshly deployed, 8-day timer with a 6-man. And so definitely a priority is getting more missions out, just in whatever form those come.
Yeah. And we have 2 people, 2 rookies still training up in the GTS, and we have an officer training.
Yeah, we have a technical going, a ranger going, and our officer with focus fire. So let's go take a look at the geoscape and go off here. So we don't have a Haven advisor currently in Eastern US. I do think we want to throw one in here. I don't recall if we've cleared this out of faceless, so I'm gonna look to add someone that has a decent amount of will and a high rank, if possible, just for that value. Ooh, our technical at 13 mobility. Okay, so I don't think I can really add any additional equipment on this technical currently.
Yeah, it should be good enough though for a rendezvous mission. Hang on, can you go back into that Haven quickly, 1 second? I just wanted to check that the 2 people we have on recruit are actually higher ranked dudes.
They are not, Ava. So let's make sure that we get. You know what? We'll just gamble on this girl here, Jill Davis and Laurent Roux, and hope that they're going to be more effective at that. 12 in the Haven, though, it's a pretty full Haven. When we can start running missions here again, it's going to be quite nice to hopefully quickly get out Liberation Chain, especially with our tower there. I think we're just scanning in Western Europe right now.
Was in my YouTube campaign, I was able to do some. I had a similar situation where I kind of spiked vigilance in my home region, had a ton of rebels there, then didn't do anything for 3 months, and then I was able to get some really good timers in there.
So we have 13 Illyrium cores sitting currently in our inventory. This actually tells me we need to go to the black market and sell and buy a scientist, I think.
Yeah, I think we can definitely spend some, sell some supplies, get some income, and then look at a scientist. Maybe also look at other facilities that we want to look into.
Avenger.
Yeah, I think your point though on the 3 scientists with 1 basic research is accurate though to start with, right? That's very low for going into May. We certainly would like to have 1 or 2 more if possible. Holy crap!
Oh, I guess with selling 13.
So each month, the black market is interested in something. They're going to pay more. Elerium cores are your go-to income supply for the early bit of the campaign. If you see it buying for 40 a pop, I don't even think the argument of keeping one is valid right now for us. We don't have the proving ground up. We don't have Psi we're going into. You'd keep one for the spark in the proving ground and for the Psi lab. I think we are taking everything with us here.
I think we actually have to go crazy on that.
I think I'm
Yeah,
going to
so
sell
some of
a focus, a hair trigger. Corrections, good to see you. Asher Bioman, good to see you as well. And that's about it, I think. I think you hang on to the early suppressors. I think there's value in these if we need just an hour or two.
Basic hacking is also, I don't think, super
This
valuable.
is a +7, and the advance is +8.
Oh, okay.
This is a pretty good hacking PCS. The 3 and 4 hack I would agree sell for 5, but a +7 is pretty good to throw in there for just a little bit more boost for hack rewards. Especially
I'm not
when
sure about the Psi one though, since we're not going into Psi at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. I think we get rid of the advanced Psi. Combat Rush, I think we keep. I think this is just a fantastic PCS to throw in an assault, Shinobi at times. Anyone who can get a flank early, though it does require a certain radius to get the benefit for everyone else, right? I still see a lot of value in this.
Yeah, I like it on my Rangers actually, if they don't need an aim PCS, right? If they have the good aim and they're just sitting in the middle of the squad and triggering Combat Rush whenever it's ready. That usually hits a lot of people.
Absolutely. All right, I'm going to sell all that, and I think we're buying the Scientist right now without even a question about it. Just pick it up and take it.
Yeah. Do we buy an Engineer?
I'm very tempted to. 143 for an Engineer is not that much. As the campaign progresses, the cost of these are just going to go up and up. I think we take the Engineer. We're sitting at 2 Engineers. We're still going to have enough money to start our second building, which I think is what we want to get into after this. And this is going to help do that while still letting us clear.
Let's get the Engineer and then see what we build in the base.
So right now we do have the GTS doing its thing. We're at 8 out of 13 power. I think this is proving ground. And my reason for thinking this is proving ground is getting a spark out. It certainly gives us a edge on our tech level. It comes with basically a mag tier weapon, can take a few hits, very reliable on the early missions. And since we're kind of having some trouble with timers, being able to throw a mech out there and replace like 2 soldiers that we need for that mission might be a solution, especially early on. The other option is a resistance ring, which, since we're having trouble getting enough missions, might be valuable as well, just to get a little bit more experience and a little bit more oomph out of everything.
That gives our soldiers something to do. Although, like, for me, the biggest problem often early game is, like, we don't have the Engineers to put in there into resistance ring to cut down the timer on the missions. And
Yeah,
I'm not sure how the failure chance is going to look with our ranks at the moment.
Yeah, so the resistance ring increases value throughout a campaign when you can start putting more Engineers in it to reduce the time of the infiltrations. So on average, a resistance ring with 0 Engineers is going to be a 12 to 16 day timer, which is almost 2 missions for soldiers that you're just locking up for maybe some little bit of value of reward, which if your soldiers aren't doing anything is fine. Typically on Legendary though, we don't have that luxury. Typically we're running that 3 or 4 missions out there, and that's our roster. That's it. And if you take wounds, it's even more challenging to have full teams running as well as get value out of the resistance ring, at least in my experience. So I'm gonna say we take the proving ground.
Absolutely. I was just lock it in. I was just thinking about something else, which there was a controversial discussion a few days ago on the Discord server about the usefulness of the workshop. Now I'm looking at that machinery that we're clearing, and man, that looks like a tasty workshop position. If we were to build a workshop, what is the cost of a workshop again? Remind me.
Workshop, I believe, is 80. No, it's 100 supplies, and it gives you 1 power.
And it gives you to get a little bit into the discussion. So a lot of people said, workshop is useless, just buy an engineer. We just paid 143 for an engineer. Here we get basically a free engineer for 100, so cheaper, and we get one free power out of it. And the upgrade is, I think, just 40 or 50 for another engineer effectively, and another power. So you're definitely gaining something from it, and that could help us excavate then 3 locations from there.
Yeah, and this location is actually pretty prime for an engineer. The 2 buildings that are going to be going on our power coil, in theory, are going to be the lab and the shadow chamber, which neither can take an engineer into value. So even though we're putting the proving ground up here, which certainly can take drones from the workshop, placing also power comms and
Resistance ring.
resistance rings surrounding this building would give us the value from the drones from the workshop, as well as helping us clear. We have 12 days to decide that, certainly, but with the amount of supplies we have that are doing nothing right now, because of that mass sale of Valyrium cores, I'm considering. I think it might be a really, really good option to do.
Well, I think that might be something to revisit in 12 days or when the excavation is done.
Yeah.
Anything in the GTS we still need to buy? No, I think we have Vulture, Wetwork.
They have Vulture and Wetwork.
Probably nothing else.
Stay with me
Worth it.
is... Oh, am I echoing? You hear that? I don't know. Okay. Stay with me is an interesting option, but we're definitely a little bit away from that. This is one of these perks right now that I'm starting to value more and more as soldiers keep dying from instant bleed out, from instant damage.
No idea what you're talking about. Never happened to me.
Yeah, never at all. But we'll have to revisit this. So Vengeance, to go over these real quick, is Vengeance, if a squad mate dies or is critically wounded, gain random tactical bonus for 2 turns. Let me tell you, if you're relying on this to proc, not great. It is 25 supplies. Later on, you can get it, but early on, even at this point, this is not something I'm looking to value at all. Because
here's an interesting take on that, though. Sorry to interrupt you there. This will proc on rebels that are dying on retaliation missions.
Does it really, actually? This is something I did not know.
It does.
I wonder then, do we... Well, I actually don't know when we had retaliation. Do we actually snag this?
I still don't value it all that much because I usually want to avoid my rebels dying, but it's not as terrible as it sounds because of that. But I'm not we have a lot of supplies, but with mech weapons coming in, those supplies are gonna go fast.
Yeah, so Lightning Strike is 150 supplies for 3 mobility. I think this is better later on as well. That's a lot of supplies for something that's not really necessary on any mission. And then Integrated Warfare is going to increase the bonuses of our PCSs. Again, this is great towards mid-late game when you're min-maxing a bit more, when you're getting more value out of it. Our PCS collection is not fantastic right now, so the value without having like everyone with PCS is greatly diminished and not worth 150 supplies. I'm gonna head back over to Western Europe here so we can get the +4 with the Avenger, the Scientist, and the 6 we have here scanning, and hopefully get a couple more missions out. Real quick, just looking at this is a general operation, right? So we know that there's one more here as well as the Liberation Chain.
And that's the intel we need for the expansion.
Yeah, I believe it doubles the value of all PCSs, so it has no effect on things that are just flat values like static effects. But hacking PCS, I believe, gets doubled. Will PCSs, aim, defense, dodge.
Not quite doubled. It's like a multiplier. But for example, for speed PCS, they all go up 1 level. Like a 1 speed becomes 2, 2 becomes 3, 3 becomes 4.
Yeah.
Same with the HP one.
But I think hack, aim, and
it's more like 20% more or so. I don't know.
Oh, is it real? Wow, we should figure this out then. I thought it was double. Was it double in vanilla?
It was definitely stronger in at least in vanilla XCOM 2.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Let's see if we can find it out. It's roughly 20%. Okay. See, weird guy, our numbers guy, has the answers. 20%. So it's a little bit of boost, or with the mobility and HP, just a little bit more value there. All right, I'm gonna scan. We gotta find some missions right now. Or we can recruit someone else to Eastern US. Wonderful. Officer training. We did get that focused fire. I think we keep training our support grenadier here. Try to get these ranks up, especially since we don't have missions to queue.
So too. And again, this is a training we can always also cancel when we desperately need them for a mission.
Yeah, so our options here, incoming. This is going to reduce the damage taken of explosives within a 4-tile range of the officer, for everyone within that 4-tile range when you use incoming. This can be a great get out of mech free card, especially if you group up and you have too many mechs active at once and you're unable to kill them. But other than that, the value of this and the ability to control when to use it and get that value is quite limited. Gets them, on the other hand, says that all allies within command range gain a 20 bonus to crit hit chance for the remainder of their turn. This is something you can pop off multiple times in the mission even, and can be quite valuable, especially against some of the bigger targets. You get it twice per mission, right? It's 2 turns.
It can, yeah, it's 2 times per mission. And it is really something that can get you to that 100% crit chance on your assaults or other units that rely on crit. Just to note, this crit chance does not affect crit from grenades and rockets with biggest booms. That can't be modified. But other than that, I personally always get some just because I'm really bad at using incoming, like identifying when is a good situation to use it, and so that I really just stopped.
Yeah,
incoming, use it, and then the enemy actually has to rocket you. Sometimes I just flank and shoot you or something.
I used to value incoming more than get some, but recently certainly have switched over to just picking up get some every time over incoming, as incoming is just far too situational, and it's you're predicting an AI chain typically, right? So the amount of enemies that this actually affects that you can kind of control when that's going to happen are very few, whereas get some is going to be valuable on every mission regardless of any enemy type. That's how I look at it.
Exactly.
So we're just going to pop that, head back to our geoscape over here. Don't care about the secret project, and once again just look for
message for you, Commander.
a mission, but instead we got our monthly report.
The aliens over the past month has been significant, Commander, but there is still room to improve if we are going to eliminate the alien threat.
Epic plating on the assassin. Okay.
Yeah, I'm waiting for this speaker and assassin to shut up. All right, so actually, this is one of these perks that is great for training wheels against the assassin, because already you don't want to be overwatching the assassin, and if you're overwatching her now, gonna get punished for it. This perk doesn't really affect us at all in how we approach
I think
it.
That's probably exactly like the way you want to set up 100% shots. You want to set up your 3 or 4 attacks a turn. Kinetic plating should never trigger, so good job training that.
Especially when they have moving target as a pretty early ability, which I think our assassin might already have. So now we're really looking to open up another region and find another chosen, as we've certainly delayed them quite a bit.
A new chance to disrupt
Yeah, intentionally. That was our whole plan. That's why we're sitting on 2 regions.
Followers are eager to proceed.
Now this is an interesting idea. We don't have missions on the board. Can we get away with getting out a Reaper right now, even though it's going to take 17 days? This is something where I'm almost like, no. Right? And my reason is I think we need to find those 2 missions first to get our team gout, because that's 17 days. That is typically 2 missions that you're not running for this experience, and it's taken our higher echelon characters out, right? Some of our stronger ones. Like, maybe we could justify the Ranger of the Assault here, and I'm willing to like discuss that. I don't think we can give up our sharpshooter.
It's 1 sergeant that we need to give up, right?
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, maybe we can give up the Ranger of the Assault, but I don't think we can give up these higher ranks right now who we need to keep feeding experience to. And I don't think you give up the sharpshooter. I think you really need to get the sharpshooter out on missions, getting their kills and getting those promotions out that way.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We can set the assault on that covert action, send a rookie with them, and it should be good to go.
All right. Let's see. We have one rookie available, Mateo. Let's send it.
But okay, not necessarily. Well, we could send a rookie, yeah. Sure, why
Very generic stats. I don't think we have anything planned for this rookie. Be happy with almost anything.
not? That looks good.
I mean, let's take a look at our deck real quick though, right? Grenadier we have 2, Technical we have 2, Ranger we have 2. All 3 of those classes, I'm perfectly fine with this.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's good. I think also we could. I think sharpshooter we got from a mission or 2, but yeah, not 3. So yeah, no, it's one of those 3.
All right, game. Be nice. Where are our missions? We've been waiting a few days, unable to discover anything. But looky here.
Please.
Strength did leave Eastern US, at least one strength, but it did not come over to Western, or it did come to Western Europe. We're up to strength 2 over here and strength 5 in Eastern US. We really need that.
Didn't find anything.
Yeah, we need that recover item ASAP before more strength gets in here, and we need to get the heck out of Dodge. And then we'll figure out where we're going from there, certainly. So we discovered Liberation 2 on nearly a 4-day timer. This is an atrocious timer for a scientist at the Avenger scanning and 6 people in this haven. I
don't think we had a faceless mission in Western Europe, and I'm fairly certain we're probably sitting on 1 or 2 faceless in that region.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think we run this mission. I think the intel is too important for us right now, especially since we just bought an engineer. I think we're pulling the scientist out of this haven and throwing in a high-ranking soldier. And as soon as we finish that other mission, we need to go make contact.
Yeah. As much as I usually like to keep some intel in the back pocket to, boost an important mission, I think we can't afford that even.
Put the shotgun specialist there for now. I am going to keep scanning here because it just doesn't make sense to scan over in Eastern US. We cannot run missions there currently.
Can we? Strength 5 could hope for a troop cannon.
And take full retaliation?
Did we have a full retaliation? See, I don't know if we had a full retaliation this campaign.
No, we have not taken it, so I'm
So
saying.
far.
We would have to take it, and I don't think I'm ready to take it. But we did find quite a valuable mission right here, guys. This is a hack the resistance computer to find enemy flight paths. This is a 2-part chain, the first part being a hack objective, and the second being a UFO. We are 100% taking this mission, and I'm willing to boost it. This is going to prevent Advent from putting strength onto the board, which is super important. Give us a full salvage mission, give us some of our intel back, give us experience. I'm immediately grabbing our specialist, our personnel over here, and I am going to see what we can queue this up
Commander,
with.
you should be aware. We're detecting lost activity in this area. Our forces will need to be especially vigilant.
So we do have a loss here as a sit rep. We're going to be keeping the Roughnecks. I think that's fine. What we're looking for right now is also combatives, right? And I don't know if we have... Do have a Shinobi that is certainly not a part of any squad with combatives here. And while I do think 4-man is viable, I think spending intel here is very well worth it.
I think so. For UFO, I'm super happy with that. I wonder, do we not have anyone? Yeah, I was going to say someone who shoots, right? So take advantage of those laser weapons, because I see a bunch of ballistic weapons there.
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking at our bonds real quick and wondering why these bond mates are not all on the same team currently. Ranger with Tristan. That way I can keep track of them just a little bit easier. Okay. So your bond mate is Paulo. He's out for a few days, so we're not too worried about that. Could also bring the gunner. Gunners can be pretty good against the Lost. Oh, we have a sentinel specialist. But that puts 2 specialists on the team, which I don't feel super confident in having.
Oh, maybe an assault.
Yeah, we could bring Xion. Or do I want to bring another sharpshooter? Start working on these promotions.
Yeah, sure. I think, didn't we even consider one of our sharpshooters, since we have 2 squaddy sharpshooters, right? One of them we could go into the whole holo targeting route. I think Astrobio might be the candidate for that.
So you want to bring Astrobio on this mission with the intent to go into holo targeting?
Possibly, possibly.
I'm a little hesitant on that sharpshooter right now, and my thought is this is still is not going to be an easy mission, right? We're still going to be under a tight timer to get a hack objective done. I'm actually leaning, now that I think about it more towards the gunner, and if we have a cannon available, or potentially even buying a cannon, a laser cannon, to have that damage and start getting this damage potential up for this mission.
Yeah, I think either of that works. Like, so the hack resistance computer on Abandoned City is usually a map where you start like on or next to a one of these elevated train tracks, and you have a really large area on the street down below, leading into the building of the computer. Most of the time. Now, whenever I say something like that, the game then rolls a completely different map plot and screws me over. So
yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. Welcome on into Lock. This is not Mod Jam, by the way, guys. This is purely just Long War the Chosen in the simplest form with the least amount of mods possible. Just stuff we have for quality of life. Av and I do this once a week, and it's set up to be a tutorial on everything you may want to know about Long War the Chosen. And it's really just a great exercise, and hopefully people have been really enjoying it as well. Now we're working on mag weapons, right? With how many supplies we have, how much Illyrium we have, and how many alloys we have, I'm tempted to get another scatter ray, and I think this is worth it on our assault.
yeah, absolutely. So I wouldn't want to buy any more laser rifles because we get the mag rifles very soon, but any of the advanced weapons, so cannon, lance, scatter ray, is definitely still worth the investment. I feel like we have a lot of alloys in Illyrium.
We do. I wish we could turn some of this into some intel. So I'm fairly confident with this squad. We have a ranger, a shotgun ranger at that, with the laser rifles, scatter ray on our specialist, because shotgun specialist is now a thing, guys, and a laser cannon on our gunner. Followed it up with a Templar. We don't have the armor out. Oh, we do. We do have Templar armor, which we actually need.
Yeah. We do have Predator armor. I see one in the squad there. So
we have 2 in the squad.
2 in the squad.
I'm wondering, do we want to get one more for our gunner?
Probably. Now, I can't see how much health he has because your wonderful appearance is in front of that.
He has 4 health, which is why I'm very, very tempted to make this investment.
Get him. By the way, do we not have... no, we don't have a proving ground, so we don't have the better plating. Never mind.
Yep, not yet.
I am still running with ceramic plating. Yeah.
We need some mobility on our Templar here. I'm very tempted to give him the 1 mobility PCS to start with. You know what, Ava?
Yeah.
I'm doing it.
Do it.
Yep, that gets us at least up to 12, which is at least the bare minimum we want to be at.
Does our... Didn't we have a sharpshooter? I thought we had a sharpshooter.
No, I replaced the sharpshooter for the gunner here. I'm still
Okay.
debating on that one. We're boosting it. We're gonna get the 10 to 12.
Well, let's leave it like this. No, I just for some reason I saw the ranger as a sharpshooter. Never mind.
Yeah, I think we're fine here. I think we have the damage. I think we have the control. We got void conduit. I think we'll be okay. I'm gonna send this on our way. And that's a pretty good mission to pick up. Not only that, but that'll be a fun mission for us to dive into on how we approach it and when we get to the UFO.
Avenger deployed.
And I think this is one of the missions where it's really important when it pops up in the geoscape to pay attention to the whole screen so you see that little find enemy flight paths. Because on the first view you just see 20 intel and a short timer, that doesn't seem worth it. But find flight paths is hard to find, very rewarding to complete, so always worth your time.
Yeah, not only is it full salvage giving you corpses, it's also going to give you a +1 Avenger power, which adds up. You need those power. There have been campaigns where I've had to build 2 power facilities to get all the buildings powered up correctly, and that's always a joy. So anytime you can get a bunch of UFOs, like, well worth it. Currently, right now, while we're still at strength 5 and strength 2, we are just going to keep scanning until we get devils ready to go.
I had to at one point like dismantle my workshop to build a second power facility because I didn't have enough power.
I had to do
Don't you mind?
I had to actually do that on my last campaign to get additional comms out as well, because I didn't get any +1 contacts from Live 3 the entire time. So yeah, here we have a 7 to 9. This is a recover item from an advent vehicle. Find the lead, 25 intel package. Real quick, we are at force level 6, just so we're aware of that going into this. We are bringing a sharpshooter with a laser lance, an assault with a scatter ray, a technical, a specialist with an SMG, and an officer nonetheless, but not with trial by fire. We have a gunner with a laser cannon and a regular shinobi. Let's dive into it. Now this is going to be a pretty normal mission that we've done several times at this point. Really depending on our starting location will determine how we progress through the map. And then hopefully it'll be quick and painless, right?
I mean, advent vehicle hacks always a little bit can be tricky because the items inside the vehicle, right? So you need to open the vehicle doors in order to actually hack in there. So it's one of the few hacking missions where the remote hacking from the specialist is not gonna give you that much additional value since you need to go very close anyway.
Start off in a relatively unfortunate position, at least on this map layout. The high ground that we have from here is not really high ground. We're still on the same level of where most of our engagements are going to be. Just quickly glancing at the map, I know immediately I want to be in this area and I want to get my sharpshooter up on this billboard to actually have high ground. And we're going to have pretty clean sight lines for him as we progress up. Since we're at a 7 to 9 strength 2, I'm immediately already assuming we're with 2 drones, and then a probably 3-3-2, right? Oh, no. Yeah, 3-3-2, 2 pods of 3. There's our first pod of 3. There's our drone.
Oh, wonderful.
It's like I played this game before.
Oh, we have a trench gun also there, so we could look at where might the advent go to, and can we set up a trench gun for them? Although it could end up being very risky.
Double time.
Yeah, I'm gonna get Ted Starver out to the side. I want to get full vision on this pod so that I know exactly where I can move safely. I don't want to accidentally move up to the edge of this billboard and peek out and get revealed like we would have if I had just moved there thinking that was safe. We're still missing one of these units.
Oh, it has immense detection range in there.
Yeah,
That's actually really scary. You can barely get people up there.
well, one thing we can consider doing is we could just force this reveal if they want to come to us. Everything right now is on green alert. The only chance percentage they have for actions are defensive, which for a scout trooper is going to be Overwatch. Seeing as we do have the assault with lightning reflexes, I'm not really worried about this first engagement. I would be more concerned about a second pod wandering in on yellow alert after the Overwatch is engaged, but since we're still so relatively close to where we're starting, and my general understanding of how pods work is there's more than likely a pod that's right here, maybe over here, something around the objective. We have a drone down here. I think the other pod's here. I think we have a 3-3-2-1 setup here for the 9 count.
So we have like two really strong like ambush openers with trench gun and with a flamethrower. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm like, and our Overwatch potential is not great.
Yeah, I'm gonna see where I can move these guys in just a second. So the question right now is there, in my opinion, classes more important than the others with the standard classes? Yes, that's the Shinobi. Shinobis are, in my opinion, probably the single most important class that you're taking on every single mission, because you want to keep them in stealth to gain information. Information and knowing where the enemy is probably far more important than a bunch of assaults that can shotgun them. But if assaults can't get close enough to them to cause damage, what good are they, right? And so having that information is really going to keep your soldiers safe to keep running missions. All right, so I think I might need to leave my sharpshooter back here somewhere that has decent line of sight. Probably in this position, actually, right here, so they can see straight down, so that we can steady weapon at least. I don't know where I go that I'm comfortable with. I know there's a drone down here that we don't have vision of, so I don't know if going here and peeking over causes the reveal.
That little half cover thing maybe for the technical.
This one right here that I can't get to because it's in vision. I can go here.
There's like two seconds delay, but yeah.
Oh, hopefully I'm not dropping too many frames today.
Yes, I guess that's just normal stream between Discord and being instant and stream being just normal viewer relay.
Yeah, I think I had to turn you up as well. Wolflink, how are you? So Shinobis don't fight most of the time, or just to start out? Just to start out. Shinobis are also great killers, especially as they progress. Once you start getting into things like Whirlwind and Reaper, their killing potential goes up so much because they can then get back to safety and they can keep killing. But early on in the campaign, having that stealth, especially on missions with revealed start, extract the VIP, and smash and grabs, like having someone who's in concealment from the get-go is vitally important to maintaining like your ability to push forward safely. Right, like what we're discussing right now even is one of these important factors on how do we take this engagement where we get the most value while keeping our people safe. By just revealing ourselves, we would let them scatter, they would get their turns, we already are out of actions and out of position where we're not going to get follow-up. One thing to consider real quick is that we need to get our preview mod enabled. The scout here has shadow step. I think we went through over the scout last time, but we'll go over it again. So the scout is going to ignore your Overwatch trap completely, which is one of the reasons that maybe forcing the reveal is not the best idea here, just because our value of damage output isn't that great. We are definitely going to need to get on top of this scout. They're going to get additional defense, especially if you leave them alive last. They're going to get additional aim. This is a very scary unit going in the Force level 5 and 6 era. And I mean, they have innate defense. That jerk.
The best description, yeah.
All right, I think the decision here is we just need to get up top. We're gonna stay out of their line of sight. We don't engage next turn.
Go.
We're gonna keep our sharpshooter over here with steady, and we're gonna look to try to get the engagement next turn. I am gonna bring Joker up here.
Test twice.
I'm gonna bring our cannon back, and I'm gonna do something maybe a little unorthodox, which is drop Bao Chica back down, because I don't really have a good position to put him. Where they're, and they have an SMG, right? The engagement value from Bao Chica here is low.
Yeah, no, fully agree.
On the move.
Ideally, I'd love to shoot this scout with my sharpshooter as our next engagement. It does look like maybe we should have gotten the flamethrower earlier, but I guess not. Do we just let them stay down there?
I wish we had a grenadier right about now. The drone staying up there. Do we just try to sneak by on the right side of the map? Man, sneaking by is always something that comes back to bite you, but this is a terrible position now to engage because we don't have line of sight on the group down below, so we don't know where we can actually move.
Well, we should know that we're pretty clean on 2 tiles, right? They are in these locations. Like, I wonder where they are, guys. But I would never tile scan, ever. Nope. Nope, not at all. This also might set us back up if they want to come back up, right? So I think I'm just going to get myself a little bit more information right now with Tedster. I think we get Asher just a little bit closer up here, maybe even in this position. If they want to come back up this ladder, we could then get the trench gun value on the follow-up potentially. Going into this position, though, might be more worth it just to find out what's up here and get ready to aggress. And we leave Joker back.
Yeah, absolutely. I would really consider like dashing everybody up at the moment.
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
I'm going to use Tedster to give me a little bit more
Our
vision.
gremlins can attempt to access the advent network from here.
We do see a nausea by the objective.
Get an advantage. But be careful. If they detect us, things will only get worse.
In the tower there?
She was telling us about the tower, finally.
This is not our first rodeo.
Moving.
I wonder if that's somewhere in a local folder config that's not the save on the if the trigger's there or not, right?
Yeah, I think because you might still have the like narrative voiceover enabled. That's why she's doing that.
Or I typically have a mod that disables it, and I apparently don't right now.
Go, go, go. Orders confirmed. On the move.
All right, to make sure that we're not running in this direction at all, I am going to use a manual control to place
Copy that.
my specialist and make sure they're running along this line and not trying to find their own shortcut.
On
As
Overwatch.
accidentally revealing ourselves there would be one of the worst things we could do. So it's a Sidewinder nausea. So we're at 3, 2, 1. Suspect the last pod's 3.
Those guys moving away from us. Slowly. Good news is that we have line of sight to most of them. It's line of sight on the drone. Alright. The drone is very likely to come up.
Well, I'm very tempted to move Bauchika here up, put these guys back in the fog of war, and start taking this engagement. Though this also does mean that Joker would need to move up, but if we even cross right here, this drone may have vision on us. Quite hard to see. That's a 100% chance to hit. This would be a coming out of concealment Overwatch if we put Overwatch on Crazy Eyed.
So we could snipe the other snake and hopefully that Overwatch. Now the only concern is from my end that the Naja might move. They tend to move back away from you, and then it might just be out of vision and not trigger the Overwatch at all. So if you can move closer a little bit first.
Yeah, but I'm thinking we take the engagement even with these guys in line of sight. These guys, knowing where we are, should move forward towards us, right? And Masa's in a yeah, Masa's in an interesting position if they potentially get proper vision. We then have Joker that can move up and flamethrower off this edge down below, or even get in several good positions where we could get a decent flamethrower, depending on their scatter. So
we have our assault.
Yeah.
If you get the kill on the back snake, right? We do have death from above, so we can just use the action instead of steady. We just move it to move to a better spot.
So I think I'm going to move Tedster up, move my gunner to this position, seeing as Tedster can also see the nausea from there.
Rolling.
Or I'm sorry, Crazy Eyed to a better position, right?
Position.
And then Crazy Eyed still has 100% there on the Overwatch.
I'm on it.
We then don't do anything else with anyone to keep our full action economy. And do we just precision shot this? I mean, the crit damage doesn't matter here at all. It's either we...
Well, it matters to get
The crit
Seven.
chance. Yeah, I think we do it.
Who's keeping score? We've been spotted.
16, a little bit overkill. That was beautiful.
Set him up to knock him down. Okay.
That's a really nasty and good split.
So there's not a position where we're going to get a flamethrower on the scout at all. And I think the scout is probably the biggest threat that we need to deal with right now. We do have a command available. We do have an assault available. I
So
think
is the teamwork for Joker Chef.
that is on the Astro, who is our assault.
Unless you want to just run and gun the so teamwork and then run and gun the assault up and just stun gun the sentry. That gives us 2 moves with a technical to flamethrower the scout. And then I have no idea what we do about the trooper. Well, the drone we can probably have. Trooper. Yeah. He's in a position we can slice? I don't think so.
No, he's not. We could have maybe with a command, but I don't know if a command's worth it. We might want that for the
Do you know
drone.
where the trooper went?
I think the trooper's right there, but I'm not 100% sure. I don't think there's an area where I'm going to get a flamethrower that's nice and clean on these guys. One, two, three, four, five. If I go there, that might just be on the edge of the flamethrower. I don't think I can get the value that way. What if we run and gun up to the scout with the shotgun?
For teamwork or how do you?
Yeah, with the teamwork. Also, I don't know why your mic's like breaking up. I don't know if everyone else is hearing that, but hopefully it's okay. Yeah. What if we actually use Joker to teamwork Astro Boy? Run Astro Boy up here, blast this guy. Worst comes to worst, we can aid protocol hack the drone. We can then, I mean, worst comes to worst, I guess we can't flashbang the sentry, so never mind. Seems kind of no.
But I mean, the sentry would shoot us then through 8 protocol full cover. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That's probably the more reliable version than flamethrowing.
No retreat.
Yeah, because flamethrower has only a chance to burn right. While it may burn the ground, it may do not enough damage or not get what we're looking for. So I think popping this running gun,
Fire position.
just moving straight over here.
Got it. Moving.
Oh, we found where the trooper is as well.
There, okay.
Hey, the drone's gonna come reveal my shinobi, letting my shinobi not get value. So works out in our favor.
Can't the shinobi actually get the trooper
It
in
might,
that position?
yeah, it might be able to as well. Well, we just low rolled our shotgun. We would be able to flashbang the scout. No, so our shinobi cannot get the trooper. Well, we could in theory, but we'd be out in the open. I'm actually much more keen to try and kill the surveillance drone right now with our shinobi than probably moving our specialist into this position here and commanding the assault to finish off the scout, right? We then could get a flashbang down on the trooper, right? And this does leave a sentry that has quite a bit of wiggle room, but the sentry only has 12 mobility. So we're 8 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll say like 5 to there. Could come up and maybe get to that position, but that's kind of a stretch, which would then get the flank on where I want to put Tedster. So I
doubt you can get there.
yeah, I don't think there's any flanking position coming into that. So I think this is what we need to try.
And maybe instead of the flashbang, it's our technical finishes of the drone.
Yeah, I think we have to try. And then as a precaution, I think we have to kill this scout. So while it started off, you know, exactly as we intended, didn't go the whole way. But I think with enough
you know, are we going to risk Masa being on the exposed side, but having a steadied weapon next turn?
I don't think you can. I think we're still within vision. This trooper's going to try and come up some way, right?
Yeah.
And the trooper may even get a flank on us and do some damage, but I don't think we can leave him in a position like that where he just gets a free shot.
Places where he can get up are flanked by us, though.
Yes, that's what we're certainly banking on with some of that control, right? But I think I can't afford to leave Moss in that position. Especially, you could fall back even where you might not have vision of any of these guys, but have vision of Masa still.
What?
Let's do this.
Found the final pod, coming in on flanks with double stun Lancer Sergeant. Yellow alert could hurt right here. But luckily no actions.
You know, that might give some loot destroyed there, but 2 stun lancers next to a car is couldn't be a more obvious rocket.
The trooper did find that flanking position on the Ted Star I was worried about. And we take a point of damage. Which, do we mitigate actually? Hold on.
Sure. No, we don't yet. No field surgeon yet.
Nope, just revival protocol. So, no longer flawless, but all in all, 1 point of damage is certainly something we, I think we can live with. Now, I wonder if we take out the Stun Lancer to start with, just to see about getting potential loot, or is this just a rocket and get control?
I mean, do we have enough actions to kill all the other stuff? Then we can use the sniper action to do that.
We might have to move our technical closer. That rocket's actually not getting... Well, it would blow up the car, which would blow up the Stun Lancer, which might not even kill the other Stun Lancer, because it's only going to do 6 environmental damage. Definitely get crazy out in a position for area suppression if necessary. Tedster 100% is going to be able to kill this trooper. And... I mean, if you can't kill the sentry, I think we just start here with Astro Boy baiting the Overwatch and killing the sentry. We have other problems, right?
Can't get the flank though.
No, we can't, but I'm hoping we can hit a 5 from this close of range, even through the cover. We are low rolling today now, aren't we?
Well, not more than necessary.
This is a guaranteed kill. We have no graze ban here, or 2% chance to graze. I'm sorry, not even a guaranteed kill. 2% chance to not get the kill there. I think Joker stays exactly where Joker is, and this is a rocket.
Bring in the pain.
Yeah, let's do that.
We did kill one of the Stun Lancers.
And destroyed the cover for the sergeant. So I think it's a snipe on the sergeant, and then Crazy Eye takes down the second lancer.
Yep.
This looks interesting. You can't handle me.
So I should be able to, from peeking around this corner, get full line of sight there, even though there's no preview because we don't have that vision yet. Tedster, can I get our evac down? We also know that this is the map. We're at the count of 9.
request confirmed. Hold tight.
So now it's just collecting loot. 1 point of damage on a shinobi.
What did you expect? Item in tow.
Less than ideal.
Could be worse.
Could be much worse.
Let's move.
A non-show Sidewinder pod's pretty scary, and a double Stun Lancer pod is also very scary. Like,
On the move.
leaving those guys uncontrolled. Like, I still think we took the right engagement by eliminating the 2 Viper type enemies immediately. As leaving them uncontrolled, potentially engaging with us while we just tried to deal with this pod alone would have probably resulted in a few more injuries.
Not a problem.
Roger that.
Target asset recovered.
Double Lyrium Core pickup is fantastic.
Make sure to eventually check the tower hack.
Affirmative.
Oh yeah, I'll check it next turn.
What am I doing with this? Double time.
Expanded magazine and advanced autoloader as well.
Got it.
And I don't think I saw loot destroyed when the Stun Lancer died, so I think we got all the drops we could have gotten from this one.
Advanced PCS for reinforcements. Now, there are 2 types of reinforcements that come from tower hacks. There is reinforcements next turn, and there is immediately summoned reinforcements. The summoned ones are considered a strong pod as well, so they can certainly be harder than your normal pod.
I don't think I've ever seen immediate reinforcements.
It's a summon in. It's a chance to happen. Well, when you have a hack reward called Enemy Protocol, regardless of the percentage you have to try for this. I don't make the rules, I just have to follow them. And now we have plus 10 hack on our specialist, which also makes that tower hack a little bit easier to get, not by much, if we decide an advanced PCS is worth it.
We can take the hack from inside the evac zone, just hack and then evac.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking as well. Just gonna spend some time reloading everyone while we hang out and wait.
Ready to rock.
Everyone's very close. We'll just be able to go into Overwatch when we have RNF coming in. I'm just gonna hit end turn until evac's here, or we need to Overwatch.
This is Firebrand. It's time to go.
Well, if you say so. Tired of waiting around.
What a
On it.
quick engagement.
Seems doable.
Focus on stream, welcome. Maybe worth going back into the black market for 80 supplies of those cores the Avenger would use elsewhere. It is absolutely worth it to go sell these
Moving to
cores.
position.
We had a supply drop, that means the black market has new offerings,
Infiltrating the
so we
system.
might not get the double Ilium core value.
Yeah, it would be worth it then to go back to the black market to sell those cores. We don't know what the black market currently has right now, right? And so it still might be worth to go check with the amount of supplies we have,
Got it.
potentially considering even another scientist. Because if we think about our region that we're in right now, our biggest hurdle is that strength is going to be going up and that we don't have a lot of resistance personnel in the region. We also caught the UFO. Going to the black market before making contact with our next region, which
Firebrand is returning to base.
is actually being delayed, right, because of UFO. Huh. As with a lot of things in Long War the Chosen, it depends.
Yeah. So
We'll
we
have to see.
need to wait until we run the UFO mission. Like, we have
20
enough
years of peace and
intel to boost the
prosperity will
UFO,
not be undone
get the
by
reward from the
reckless
UFO, and
actions
then
of a
make
few
contact, but
misguided
not the other way
dissidents
around. We
today.
can't make contact first, because then we don't have enough for the boost.
Yeah, so it does come down to, like, it depends. Do you have a tier list for enemies that need to die first, usually priority poison and stun?
Commander.
It comes down to it depends. Again, it's really depending on what your squad comp is and what your like layout is, right? And like what you think you're going to be attacked from is your priority. Something like a super heavy mech is typically the top of my list to disable or kill. While mutons are really scary, a super heavy mech could potentially just decimate my entire squad in a turn if they really decide to. But At the same time, if I can shut down a super heavy mech, that's a lot of actions killing something else, right? So it's like not necessarily a priority to kill, but like definitely disable that and then prioritize like what I can actually kill.
It's to me it's really like what on the enemy side is would cause the most damage or disruption to my squad, and that's the priority.
That I
when you
can
say,
kill.
you would prioritize poison. Poison is a Viper, so a Viper can do a lot of damage, but you can also, if you have the positioning for it, if you position one of your soldiers next to a Viper, Viper will always go for a bind. A bind does 1 or 2 points of damage that goes into your ablative, so you can kind of control them that way, so you don't have to kill them. A Viper you can't get to will likely take a flank shot, poison half your squad, can be very disruptive. Suddenly it's a high priority kill target. So sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, something like a nausea as well. If you're unable to flank the nausea, you definitely need to figure out how to get a flashbang on it or disorient it in some way or get out of line of sight. But if you can flank a nausea, the nausea is always going to move, like unless they're maimed and they are unable to move. And so you can control it just by that way, and then you have different targets you want to prioritize. Even something as wild as like a sectopod, if I can't disable it or kill it and there's other threats on the map, sectopod value, like threat, might go down. Sure, it's gonna do damage to me, but like if I can kill 2 mutons and unable to kill a sectopod, putting the damage into the sectopod at that time doesn't make sense. And I think that goes with a lot of things. There's some enemies that are low priority targets though, which I think is maybe an easier way to approach it. Troopers, while they certainly can do damage, are still using a weapon that's doing 3 to 5. All right, and if I have any some form of defense, like their aim isn't stacking high enough for me to worry too much. A shield bearer is always going to shield. While it sucks, and we might have to do some additional ablative damage and higher threat targets next turn, that priest that's typically with the shield bearer group is a much bigger threat. I need to put that thing in sustain, overkill it, or figure out a way to control it next turn. Same thing that goes like muton elites. Andromedons are completely tankable, right? With combatives, mutons are tankable for a turn with combatives. Berserkers are tankable forever with combatives, right? So a lot of these big threats, though, if I have a way to control, they lose their priority target. So that can certainly help when deciding is like what do I have control over and what's now low priority, right? Do get a soldier.
And also, yeah, especially the control question then. Like, let's say an enemy rocketeer can kill half your guys, destroy cover, expose the rest. That can cause a squad wipe. On the other hand, if you have a flashbang for him, suddenly he's just a trooper with shitty aim. So
and a weaker weapon.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, flashbang engineers or flashbang rocketeer is not even a threat. An engineer is going to do 3 damage, like if they hit, or graze. Old graze, I guess, is 1 if they hit. So that's pretty low threat as well. Like I would take that point of damage over leaving like a grenadier up with a fire grenade or an acid grenade. Like that's a ton of damage. That flashbang in control there is worth just risking the 1 point versus the squad damage. But yeah, good question. I appreciate that. Okay, so we are sitting at 120 intel, and as much as I would love to immediately jump over to New Mexico or New Brazil or some other spot, we can't. We need to spend this intel on this hack the workstation. We did just pull out a soldier as our intel package there, and I'm going to take a quick look again and see that yes, we have Liberation 2 here, which since we're missing this timer again with strength going up, kind of tells me our Liberation chain, they're off. We're very far behind on Liberation 2 regions, and getting this 3rd region out and hopefully workable ASAP is really a top priority.
Just wait. We're gonna get the mission expire. We're gonna immediately discover it through a lucky roll with a 6-day timer, and then we can just breeze through the liberation chain here.
Yeah, sure, and spend more intel on boosting everything else.
Never expanding at all.
Like that troop column that's guaranteed to be moving in here from somewhere. I mean, I guarantee that we have more vigilance here than we have in West Africa, Eastern Europe, and definitely Eastern US. So there's more than likely a supply raid headed in
Talking
right
about
now.
troop column, I'm very much, if nothing changes on the geoscape and big changes, like if Eastern US goes down to 4 strength, I'm fully in favor of going full intel, taking the retaliation if we have soldiers available, and finding a troop column.
Why not now?
Because we need a strong squad for the UFO.
Commander, we currently have no new supplies coming in. We'll need to seek out new means of replenishing our resources.
take the retail, a possible troop column, and the
Okay.
UFO.
Okay, I agree. I agree that we should take the retail at strength 4, not 5. Let's see what our schedule looks like up until then. There's another general op here. We don't need the soldier that badly right now. We do have 10 days before we need to go collect this. I think we keep scanning here in Western Europe, looking for another mission.
The proving grounds are ready, Commander. We can build rational.
All right. Welcome to the Proving Ground, where we get a lot of additional projects. There are a couple standout projects here on the Proving Ground. One, depending on the amount of corpses you have, is alloy plating. This is going to change your alloy or your basic plating to alloy plating, which is going to give you 3 points of ablative. This is a very good investment, especially if you're going to get this after getting either a supply raid, troop column, UFO, HQ assault, something with full salvage, right? We're going to be putting an engineer in here. This is going to go down to 8 days, I believe, with the engineer. Actually, let's do that right now, as you definitely want the engineer to help with these projects while you're working on things. So alloy plating goes down to 7 days. Absolutely fantastic. There's also this beautiful pick here. Getting a mech out, while not something I would rely on any campaign, having a mech available, leveling this up, can be a very powerful tool in a lot of your missions. This is a target with a lot of HP that can be sent out while wounded, that has more ablative, and that comes with a weapon that does equivalent to a mag tier cannon, basically, out of the gates, right? Getting this earlier gives you more benefit. It's really that simple. You get to level them up. There's really only one build, sadly, but we'll definitely go into that when we get the mechanized unit out. I personally, in this situation right now, say, look, alloy plating is great. We don't have Lib 5 coming up, though, anytime soon. I don't really see a reason for us to need to fully dive into that yet without the reliance on or knowing that we're going to get more of these corpses. UFO for sure, but that could also just be 18 Vipers potentially. I want to make the argument that we go into mechanized warfare, we get this spark out, we start using this to help push missions a little bit more.
So here's an idea for that option.
Yeah.
Grab one of the other engineers from who's excavating, put them also on the proving ground. Then we have the spark for the UFO mission already.
Ava, you madman. 5 days.
I'll have the team get started immediately.
Mechanized warfare, let's do it.
I'll
You're
let
making
you
a
know
team
as
just for
soon
the
as there's
A's.
progress.
Let me know which ones your favorite are, Weevu. Certainly curious. Let's do it. Let's get the proving ground
I think
out.
5 days will hit, right? What's the timer on the flight paths?
4 days, 9 hours.
Okay. I mean, it's not exactly 5 days, right? It could be 4 days, like 16 or something.
I still think it's a fine investment of time. We'll definitely get it for another mission if we need to, especially if we do decide to take retaliation. Even if it's not going on the UFO. We recruited one more person in the eastern US. 14 in that haven. I cannot wait to run missions over here.
We're recruiting them really fast there.
One of these permanent dark events that is just the way Advent scales. It's very hard to stop these type. The Advent scopes. Get a little bit of aim. 5 aim for, I think, all units. This might be a permanent one for all. To be expected. To be expected. Got our Ranger, got our Technical coming out of our GTS. Our rookie is on a covert action for 13 more days, which is fine.
Okay, Advent Scopes is 5 aim for all Advent units with a 33% chance to apply to every single unit.
Oh, that's not as bad as I thought. But hey, that's okay. Our officer has finished their training and can't do anything more right now. I do want to take a look real quick at our officer school and see if we have any other future candidates, because I would like to keep this rolling if we can. People I would consider a candidate are potentially a technical. Not completely opposed to this idea.
No, I really don't like tank officers.
Yeah, I just don't see who else we have right now.
Yeah, we don't have anyone else, right? So we don't have another support grenadier. We don't have any hollow sharpshooters yet.
I actually don't think we put anyone in here, sadly. Right now. I think I want the technical on the mission, and that's who I would consider potentially having another officer. Using a gunner as an officer is like definitely a waste. Gunners have so much action economy as is, and you're always going to want to be doing something with them. That like this is a class I would never make an officer.
The thing is, with so a lot of people said like a technical makes a good officer because you have something for them to do when they run out of their rockets and their flamethrowers, right? Then they can still
But they
use
have
rockets to
Shredder.
stop. But first of all, they have Shredder to attack, and also you probably want your officer skills as in command in those turns where there's a lot to do, where they fire the rocket and the flamethrower.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, to me, never made. There's an argument to be made, even though Chromotics is a melee shinobi, you could just a shinobi officer. You know, they can use a little bit of command from stealth and then later on start slicing. It's not somebody I would put as my main officer.
My issue right now is that I want Komotics on the next mission, right? I need this scouting. So I don't think it's worth throwing it in. As far as classes that are going to be favorite officers, these are going to be support specialists and support grenadiers. Support grenadiers with rapid deployment still can get flashbangs out, move around, and then get command out. And support specialists typically are not providing you a whole lot of value up front, other than with revival protocols, things like not aid protocol, things that are non-turn ending, and then can also get a command out if needed. And so those two classes for me are really where you want your officers. The third class is definitely a hollow targeting sharpshooter, especially if they get the is it lead by example? No, the one that gives you additional aim.
Yeah, lead by example.
Yeah,
so lead by example is an officer skill where they give a bonus to the aim of everybody else depending on their own aim stat. So if you have a class like a sharpshooter who has high aim by default, then the amount of bonus they get, you unfortunately can't preview officer perks. The amount of bonus you get is dependent on the difference between your aim stat and the other soldier's aim stat. So if your sharpshooter officer has 100 aim and the gunner in the squad has 80 aim, he gets plus 10 aim just from being near to the officer.
Yeah, and since
then the officer hollow targets and
since sharpshooters also have the highest aim growth, even like a mediocre 65 to 70 aim unit becoming a sharpshooter officer still provides just a ton of aim value. Because I think it's 27 aim for just class alone, before perks and other things you can get to help enhance that for a sharpshooter. But yeah, their aim growth is fantastic.
Well, I have to count this up.
Make an Ava do math.
28 aim, yeah.
28 aim. Okay, so even higher than I thought. I thought it was only 27. Let's keep scanning for this mission, hopefully.
Assuming the wiki is correct.
All right, 6 days, 7 hours for an extract.
Commander, you should
Great
be
mission
aware.
for us.
We're detecting lost activity in this area. Our forces will need to be especially vigilant.
Why does Timberwolf have 2 sharpshooters on it currently? You know what? I don't want to know. I am going to grab my Haven Advisors out of here. I do want to make sure that we have a decent team for this, while still keeping a few people back for the planned UFO. So taking a look at our rednecks real quick, or roughnecks. Templar Specialist, Technical Shinobi, Ranger Gunner. These are all fantastic for a UFO. I'm going to make a safe assumption and say we're going to be able to take 7, hopefully with that 8 to 9 day timer that we're going to be able to generate. That is Derava's voice, yes. This is a co-op campaign with Derava. So I think really the only thing missing from this squad is going to be a sharpshooter. So that's what I want to leave home, right? So I feel quite confident being able to take like our better team out for the moment, adding a few more to enhance this and getting a hopefully successful mission with some good experience. One thing I absolutely need to consider right now is an officer, right? We need to level these officers up. I can bring Detrix very, very reliably. I don't know if we want to bring Detrix to the UFO. Not at the position yet where they're really pulling.
Time to reset.
Great, thank you so much. Where they're really pulling their weight. They don't have access to sting grenades yet. We don't have the frost grenade yet or anything like this, right? And since I'm looking really to only add a sharpshooter to this squad, I think we're fine with this, right?
By the way, since we do have a support grenadier officer, And with the Proving Ground out now, we might consider also unlocking the Frost Grenade fairly soon. Because that makes some missions almost trivial. If we fully abuse double Frost Grenades.
Oh yeah, we need to get to the weapons first, right? From research. So maybe after mag, depending on the timer we have.
After Mac, we can do like experimental weapons and then do the Proving Ground project and then cheese.
So right now, I certainly am looking at bringing in our support grenadier, probably with the SMG, 2 frag grenades and 2 flash grenades. Also being the officer, trying to get them leveled up, trying to get them to trial by fire, right? So we can get that benefit on some of our lower ranks, quickly promoting, and also when we consider Psy in the future, getting that quick promotion out. Now, I am noticing though that I have 2 grenadiers here, and I actually now am debating if that is any good on an abandoned city extract mission, especially when I think strength might go to 3, which is a very real possibility right now, right?
When
with
it's
the
an
Lost.
actual abandoned city with the Lost.
Yeah.
Much as I mean, our damage grenadier is pulling out numbers, right? But
Yep. So this is not co-op for those who are confused in the sense that we're both playing the same game at the same time. We share the save. Each week we send this back and forth. It's much more of an exercise of us going through and over-explaining the Long War the Chosen framework and the mod itself, deep diving into it, having 2 different perspectives of people who are, you know, combined, 5,000 hours now in Long War the Chosen and Long War 2. And so when we say co-op, it's 2 of us cooperating together to proceed through a game. It's not 2 of us trying to take control at the same time. So, I actually want to get rid of both these grenadiers, though. I think with the loss, we do have access to combatives, which is great. We're still gonna have the sharpshooter. We may need to keep Komotics here, if only to give our shinobi more value, right? But I think I actually have to fall back on that grenadier option here, and instead maybe look at the specialist and getting this promotion out. But now I wonder about some of our damage, right? We still need to be able to kill things. The laser lance certainly can do that. The ranger certainly can do that. Having a grenadier against the Lost, not the worst thing in the world, especially when Lost is way more beneficial to XCOM than it is Advent, even with them targeting us more often, right? Is because they give targets and everything like that.
yeah, I mean the ranger with the laser rifle, and he has also a center mass. That's a lot of potential damage. And it's extremely. I think this is good from a damage perspective.
Yeah,
I don't think you can squeeze in a 6th person.
Oh, absolutely not. And if it does go up to strength 3, we could over infiltrate, hit that vulnerable. With only 10% remaining on the variance there, what's that, 20% that's not vulnerable by the end of it, right? So I think we still pull that 7 to 9 if we need to right now. I don't see any of these people really coming with us, especially in this case, to the UFO, mostly because their bond mates are all here as well. Co-commandering, sure, but I'm not gonna be pedantic about it, guys. Co-op campaign, it's cooperative, like it works. I get it, it's maybe not what everyone assumes, but I think it still fits. It's a co-op campaign, the over-explained co-op campaign.
And we did a little bit more of a co-op campaign previously, where we passed the safe game over every mission. So so in a way we were cooperative. One person was setting up the mission, the other one had to run it, with weird class choices of the other person.
The meme dream campaign was a meme.
Yeah,
we've also found that this format works much better for a long-term sustainability of explaining and looking back on a tutorial, since there is a playlist on YouTube that has everything going on, or the entire campaign for you to look back and look at. If you're looking at doing your own campaign and you have questions about anything, especially in the earliest force levels, your first engagements with the Chosen, mission detection, anything of that, great reference, either this video or this series more so, or any of Ava's tutorials. I definitely can recommend as well. We'll talk about the co-op mod later. That's certainly a discussion to be had, but we'll keep it focused on the co-op campaign and the over-explaining today. Oh, so since we were able to find that mission, and we do have this UFO coming up very, very soon, I am tempted to go check the black market just to see what's going on over there. I think this region's about to be off limits, right? We're about to spike it up to Vigilance 11 with these 2 missions. And yeah, we're gonna have to go from there. If I enable Iron Man, what happens on a game crash? I'm finding I have no willpower to not save scum. Game crash will go back to hopefully what is the last autosave if you're playing on Iron Man, which should be the start or the end of your turn. Really, I guess the start of your turn. It's one of those. The issue there is if you press escape at any point during Advent's turn while playing Iron Man, the autosave will be disabled. So if you have a crash after that point, there will not be an autosave and you will not have a recoverable campaign. Yeah, I think we go hit the black market and just see what's going on over there. Don't you think, Gava?
Yeah.
Avenger
Because we gotta check also like what the new available item is or high demand item.
Market is open.
Our stun Lancer corpse. Yeah, you're not taking that.
Yeah, no.
Over my dead body. There's actually not a whole lot of things that I'm really considering selling right now. We still have some money. We may need to come back with the addition of mag weapons. The stocks, I don't think we need all 5. I think I'll keep 3 just because we don't have it advanced. Things like the Viper corpses, I'm not really super keen to sell these yet. There's still a chance next cycle that we could get a very interest in this, right? We're not hurting for money. While this is not a high priority target for me to keep, 2 more Viper corpses does lead us to get instant research on the med kits, or to at least unlock them in the proving ground. So I think I'm just going to sell off, like, you know, a couple of things, loose trinkets here and there, but nothing too important. Look at the scientists, we're now up to 185. I think we just paid 145 on our last one, and the engineer, I think we paid like around 140, 145 as well. So it's up a little bit more. Not too concerned about snagging that. We are at 4 scientists with 1 basic research, so we're effectively at 5 scientists right now.
Yeah, my only concern is with the scientist rate. So our power coils are really in the last spots that we're gonna excavate. So it's gonna take a while until we get a lab out.
But I don't think there was any play where we were getting a lab early to begin with right now. That certainly wasn't a focus with some of it has to do with our timers, right? Some of it has to do with our late liberation chain. So the funding of it is not necessarily like happening.
Yeah, I think it's more of a keeping an eye on our science rate, not as a we need to do something now kind of approach.
Yeah.
So maybe after the UFO, we can have another look if we actually want to buy that scientist.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because we'll get supplies and full salvage from that. All right. So, do I think we can discover Liberation 2 on a decent timer here? I still think there's an opportunity. I think we go back to Western Europe. I'm unwilling to put a scientist in here right now because I do not know when our last intel retaliation was, and it could pop immediately if the timer's up and this goes to strength 3, if that bucket is filled. So I'm gonna leave a soldier here. We do have a assault with a flashbang grenade, just a regular shotgun, but as a Haven advisor and somehow retaliation happens, still can handle his own, get a stun out, provide value while we get the squad over there. Therese Berg over here is looking like an absolute Chad. Apex Predator, watch them run, Infighter and Salvo. Oh my goodness. She's just gonna tank the assassin herself, it seems.
Just careful that you praise the right, Therese Berg. Because there are 2 of them. Clearly not a sign that one of them is a faceless.
So we're boosting this mission. We're definitely not under infiltrating this. This is going to give us intel as a reward, which is super, super nice. But more importantly than the intel as the reward, we're going to get some flight pass. This is a 10 to 12 mission at 107%. This mission does have a +1 strength modifier, right? It has to. Because...
Yeah, strength to region.
Yeah,
otherwise it wouldn't make sense.
Yeah. The Lost are going to be here as well, so we definitely need to be aware of that. We are bringing in our Templar, our specialist. This is a support specialist. Technical Shinobi that does have combatives, Ranger, and Gunner. Let's go give it a go. Alright, I'm going to take just 1 second, guys, to lower my desk, so give me just 1 moment. I can entertain you guys.
Maybe. But it's much more interesting and entertaining to just watch a logical lower his desk and set up his camera and not be happy with the camera angle and reset it again.
Feel called out. I should start streaming with you
I
too.
knew it.
Just being an ominous voice on a background, you know. But like, I'll admit, I have to use my charming good looks to get people to click on the screen to begin with. Like, these are gonna fade in probably like a week, and that's no longer gonna be a valid marketing strategy.
So I was looking actually at one of the old co-op campaign videos recently, and that must have been just after the last time you did a full clean shave and you were without any sign of beard on that videos.
And was it just like lower viewership across the board?
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Yep, I knew it. Everyone's just here for the beard. Has its own personality and everything at this point. All right, so we have what's typically your abandoned city map, but we did not get the bridge variation that we probably would have liked. Our objective is actually up here on a second story, which is rather difficult to see. There is a potential that we could see it from up here, but I cannot guarantee that. But if we can, this could become a lot easier as well. One thing to consider when aggressing on a 10 to 12 map is that there's probably 2 drones, right? Ever considered a beard oil sponsorship? Look, I've never even tried beard oil. So if someone wants to send me some beard oil and sponsor me, like we'll give it a try and give it a review. I did find that
Trojan on our specialist.
We do. Oh goodness, are we going for the Trojan to begin with?
Moving the designated coordinates.
If we can get a position to hack, I would really just hack right away. Trojan hopefully kill it.
Yeah, we're gonna go for it. Remind you of a Battlefield streamer had a beard, so you click, dude. It's the beard. I'm really glad that we have a 87 tech score there.
But yeah, that should be pretty much a guaranteed kill of that drone without us having to do anything and without losing concealment here.
Time to go get some more information then.
Got a group of hostiles over here.
So we do see a Rocketeer. And one thing that we know about pods and pod development and placement is a Rocketeer is never alone. Ever. You're never going to see a lone Rocketeer. If you do, it's a bug. So that tells us that there is a pod over here, which in our current position, I'm ignoring. I'm going to keep pushing forward. I need to get and figure out where I can get to actually hack this objective. We do have a 10-turn timer, which is certainly a little bit more generous. The reason our timer is 10 turns instead of 8 turns, by the way, is because of our sitrep, the Lost. Certain sitreps that add additional things to the map, not just replace pods, but add additional modifiers to the map. Things like Project Miranda, the Lost, Psionic Storm. These all give you an additional 2 turns with your timer. So something to certainly consider. They're also considered very hard missions. At the end, we are going to get additional XCOM AP for completing this mission.
Understood. Moving out. I'll go quickly.
I think we just keep blue out in the open here. It's not going to really cause any issues. Do find our second drone,
One of their patrols.
which, you know, I predicted. I said there's 2 drones, right? We don't have proper vision over that drone, though, which is certainly problematic.
Do we go up into on that balcony and into that high ground there?
I could with Great Rat with guns, who is a close and personal ranger. I certainly could with Amazing and then try and get some value there. I don't think putting the Templar up there is really going to do a whole lot. I think the position right now is getting a weird gal here and trying to get some vision through these windows. I actually think it's maybe like right here for right now.
Like we need to get line of sight on that drone
Affirmative.
before we
Moving out.
make any decisions.
Okay. Also, I have a sneaky suspicion that there's a mech with this drone behind us, because as I'm moving my camera around and moving people, there's a mech adjusting. And what happens for some reason, is mechs always want to be facing where you are, right? Like where your camera position is. And so as they shift their little legs, make some noises, and you can gain some additional information from that. Is it intended? More than likely not. Am I going to take advantage of it? Absolutely. Now, knowing that there's another pod back there and actually caring that there's another pod back there are two different things entirely. I think I want to try to get copyright up here, even though they do have a shotgun, as I want to try and find a position where they're going to be able to see this objective remotely. I'm hoping this window is going to be enough to let them through. So I am going to take this opportunity to move up, try and leave this pod behind us in the fog of war for a little bit longer, and instead take the opportunity to move more of my units into a position where them coming around the corner, hopefully next turn, doesn't spot us. I more than likely am taking this drone as an engagement next turn, especially with someone like my Templar, to start generating focus. That's some good information there. Sidewinder, sectoid, and something else. I still think I'm moving forward here. Even if we aggro too much, we do have access to rockets and flamethrowers on the follow-up. Yeah, even if I go here, so I could let the drone reveal us even. I could go here. We could get the scatter. I could go here and get the Overwatch. I think I want to bring my Shinobi here so that at least they have enough clearance for their mobility to come in and get some kills as well.
Got it covered.
Yeah, this is the play I'm going to make. This drone may not come towards us, which would be best case scenario. But I'm going to set it up so that next turn I hopefully have a way to start killing things cleanly.
Yeah, I mean, the drone was moving right to left, so I don't think it will actually reveal anyone unless it comes close enough to our Shinobi, which it doesn't. Stuck.
Now, we know this is a pod of 4.
Bit fairly close to the objective.
Yeah, that's the only concern right now. So there is a scatter of 0.98 tiles to 1 tile. So there is a potential that this goes that way, destroys the objective. And this is all for naught, which is something we absolutely cannot do. As I scan around up here, just moving my character in their position, I'm looking for a little icon on this device, trying to see if there's going to be anywhere down here that I can actually hack. And it does look like I do have a hack position here.
What to say on the container, yeah. That's perfect, actually.
So now that we have that information and we know where we can go, and we still have vision on the surveillance drone, I'm tempted to try to get close enough for an ambush here. But I'm not sure how I do that when I don't have vision of 2 of these units that potentially could have vision on these tiles. So I don't think I can actually safely do this.
The problem is the drone will, I would almost say 100% reveal our Shinobi next turn with its next move. So I think we rather go in a position where we get maybe some Overwatch shots, a little bit of Overwatch value, and we go from there.
I agree. The Sidewinders, of course, are not going to take any Overwatch shots. Now, since we're going to get revealed, and these guys are currently on green alert, and we know that there is a pod back here, I am wondering if I want to put a weird gal in a position like this. I don't think we're going to get yellow alert shot. This is going to get her closer to be able to hopefully get some burns or value next turn. The other position, though, is going right here and not even taking the Overwatch, which is probably the safer play. Though, once again, I actually don't know if that's good enough.
Get on the high ground, but then we risk revealing that third pod that's further in the background.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna play it safe. We're gonna go into the half cover here, so at least I can get a rocket angle if necessary.
Heading out.
We're gonna go Overwatch, Overwatch, Overwatch. one for all. Overwatch. Overwatch and just see what value we can get, right? It's not going to be the greatest of openers, but maybe it will be. The Sergeant is going back into the fog of war.
They're patrolling this area.
Or shotgun Overwatch, kill that drone.
I believe.
Anyone want a souvenir?
I'll be honest, I'm a little disappointed with that value there.
Barely a hit.
All right. Things to consider right now is that there is a pod right here that I really would like to trigger. I could definitely get a burn on the Sidewinder. I have no idea where this pod's going to scatter. I don't know if I want to have that pod scatter to begin with. Our Shinobi's real value actually only comes from this Sidewinder. As does our Templar. I think our Templar needs to generate this focus and trigger that pod, and then maybe our Shinobi gets a little bit more value.
Yeah, let's just go with that. Let's see where they move.
Blue Magier with a solid 3. The absolute mad lad.
Like, I don't like that Sidewinder in the back in the building, because we can do fairly little against it, and it has probably good positioning. Now, do we have the mobility with our technical to be in a position where we can flamethrower the Sergeant and the Sectoid? Probably not.
No, there's no position that I'd be comfortable putting our technical in to get both burns. Our Shinobi really has no other value either right now than the Sidewinder, so I think I'm just going to take this kill and see if that's going to give me proper vision of this guy.
Before you move there, too late.
Oh, is there delay right now?
Well, it's like the 1 second, 2 seconds or so.
Oh, but what were you going to say before I move there?
I was going to suggest putting a pillar there so that the Shinobi cannot be flanked by that second Sidewinder. You can still put it in now, but so there's sometimes the question, will the game actually register the cover if you put it in afterwards? Some people say it doesn't. So far, I've not had the experience that it doesn't work, but some people always say, oh, you know, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, what I am thinking of doing though is moving up my Weird Gal here and burning this Sergeant. This will give us full cover versus the Sidewinder and hopefully give us some control here.
Yeah.
Though we do also have Phosphorus, which means we could do some damage to the drone and potentially get both of them in this. Yeah, I think this is the move every time right now. Is there a... Oh, I saw it. I saw it.
Oh.
Burn him out. You know, just that little bit of damage. As well as the burn, fully controlling the Sergeant now.
We get a flank shot on the Sectoid with our Ranger.
Oh, with our Ranger? No, because our Ranger's not going to be able to get over the barrier, it seems, from their position. But our Gunner is going to have a position here where we potentially could get a nice flank. Right now I'm a little worried though about the spit from the Sidewinder more than anything, right? And I kind of think I need to get a flashbang on the Sidewinder, so I'm considering how we do that. Putting my Ranger in this position may give us enough distance to get the flashbang there, which then would allow me to move my Gunner up to get the Sectoid. And we do have Revival Protocol on our Specialist, so a drone stunning is really not that big of a threat to me right now.
Don't slow me down.
So I think we're going to try and keep these full cover positions where we can. And to my dismay... Wait. No, it's not highlighting it. To my dismay, that's not going to actually be the case. Which does tell me I need to still move Amazing to this position. and flashbang the Sidewinder.
Seems doable.
Do it from the full cover, different full content.
Wait, what? Your mic's like lowered today for some reason, and it seems like it's breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, I think I need to just adjust my microphone position because no, actually I just need to watch you on the other monitor.
Yeah, there we go. Hey, I'm fine with bringing some Lost in.
These Lost seem to be pretty sensitive to noise. The sounds of combat are likely to draw even more of them.
So I still think we're throwing the pillar here for Tomb Raider as a precautionary measure in case the Sidewinder still wants to try to go for a flank.
Alternative, you could block the door of the Sidewinder, but I think that's not gonna be so.
That's not. Yeah, that's still gonna get a decent position. I'm still very tempted to put Jake Hudson right here, right now, so that we can hack next turn if needed.
Do we throw the evac also?
I think so.
But hang on, if you go up there, I think there's a risk that the Sidewinder then flanks our specialist.
With 9 mobility?
This is Firebrand. Evac request confirmed.
Oh, sorry, forgot about the flashbang. Probably not.
I also think this is just a kill immediately onto the drone right now, since I don't see a lot of other action there. We're flanking the sectoid. Ooh, I just realized the sectoid, though, could come get a flank on us here. We might need to kill the sergeant to offer up a corpse. We might just have to move.
Yeah, might be better, and then just, we have revival protocol. Just keep our specialist safe, so he's not the one getting stunned by the drone.
Good to go.
I dislike that I can't tab.
Got the objective in sight.
Oh, thank God, it's just the objective being shown. I thought I triggered a pod, and I was like, you're kidding me right now, right?
It's a bit of a risky move, but it's fine. It's fine. You weren't even concerned.
Yeah, I'm gonna move our ranger closer right now into the full cover position. Actually, I kind of want a full cover position where I can take 2 shots from next turn if possible. But I don't see that position anywhere. All right, I'm just gonna move here.
There better be something there.
Thought you wanted to offer up the corpse.
No, because the sectoid has a potential flanking position. I didn't want to leave 2 targets open. Look, we have friends.
Dasha, 3 regulars. Oh no, one of them is a grappler, okay.
Oh no, my free ablative. But hey, the party's all here. Scout mech. Where's the Rocketeer that I thought was with that group?
So there's the Rocketeer group is also somewhere on the right and a separate group, okay.
So I don't think we're hacking this turn, because I think we need to revival protocol both of these units back. The Lost really are the least of my concerns. I can definitely get like an area suppression.
If you kill the sectoid, you don't need to revival the Templar. So hang on, what are we looking at right now? We've killed 3, active 6, and we know the Rocketeer plus something else is on the right hand side towards our start. So I don't think there's anything else towards the objective.
Yeah, I don't think so either. What I'm thinking is I think it's revival protocol and a weird gal. Weird gal rockets.
Could our Shinobi just kill the sectoid?
But I have an Overwatch I have to get rid of.
Oh yeah, the...
That is a flank onto the scout while still in cover positions.
That's pretty good.
And it won't trigger the Overwatch. So if you guys do not know this, at least if you're using the Revert Overwatch Changes, which is a required mod, you need to be the second tile, in the second tile to take the Overwatch shot. That first tile won't trigger it.
Did you see that one?
Beautiful.
How am I killing the
we've got-
Sidewinder is the question. Do I have invert, don't I?
Yeah,
How
you
much?
should have invert, and you have a buff barrels ranger
that-
down there.
Yeah, but then I have a mech. But okay, I
You
do.
have Haywire protocol is back up.
Oh, I do, right. Okay, so I do think this is us killing the sectoid from this position here. This will hopefully draw the loss to us as well for combatives.
Hey, take a look at this.
It's dead. It has to be dead.
It looks.
Down the trooper and the Rocketeer.
Fortunately, you only have one focus, so I think it's gotta be invert on the snake.
This is revival protocol without a doubt. This sergeant's burns coming off cooldown, by the way. Okay, so I do think it's Haywire here, and I think we start with that to verify this is happening.
Activate Haywire.
Yeah. I mean, I would still check if it's, it's showing 74. Or do we have... Oh, we do have the new mod that actually shows the real percentage, right?
Yes, I still think we take this.
No. Yeah. Yeah, at 74, I'll take it. If we had still variants, it would roll down to 60 something, then I'd be concerned.
We're through.
That Rocketeer is a little scary.
I am in control now.
Is there ever a world I'm moving Great Rat with guns right here, which still potentially could get a flanking position from a trooper to do some damage to us, right? But this puts a flank on the Rocketeer, hopefully encouraging movement. And then, oh, man, he still rockets though, two of us potentially, right? We have to move a Weird Gal.
Do we not have a flashbang on Weird Gal?
We do actually. Can I? But how do I kill the sergeant, right?
Yeah, that's the problem is, so either the sergeant or the snake are gonna stay alive here. I don't see...
Okay, hold on. What if I move here, that separates us from this rocket potential. I can flashbang the sergeant. I potentially can burn the sergeant again. I am worried about this lost. Purple milk, welcome. I actually think this is just two laser shots. I don't even think we're trying to go for the shotgun here.
Yeah, if we have none aside from where we are, yeah, let's definitely take the laser shots. Maybe we get lucky and even have a shot for the drone.
We do, we do.
You're nothing to me.
All right, I'm moving a weird gal away, getting her out of this line of sight area for potentially that Rocketeer, and I'm gonna go for another burn. Yeah.
Killing it with fire.
All right, that'll kill him. That guarantees the kill. All right, Mr. Templar, who can definitely take a hit or two. I think we offer you up. I think we want you to be the best target possible for one, not only just all these loss that are going to be coming, but also for these targets. You have so much ablative, right? We have 2 plus tier 2 shield, which is going to grant us 6. I don't know if it says right here, but yeah. Wait, does it show if?
I think it says in the shield description, which you can't
Hold up.
access from here. Like
Yeah. I think it's 6 right now. All right.
Strike of power.
I think everyone agrees Shadow Strike Gunner is top tier Masa.
Holding here.
All right.
Interesting lost movements.
Well, that was not in a move I thought would happen right there. I'll be honest.
It's scary when he rockets just for 2 targets, but it was the 2 targets I was okay with.
Okay, first things first. Any action we do, the grappler is going to swing on us, so we do need to find a way to kill the grappler.
Yeah, I think that's great guns. Reload and shoot.
Yeah, I think so.
Probably.
I think our gunner is shooting this mech to begin with as well. I really hate that we have a Rocketeer up here, but there is a world where we move and void conduit the Rocketeer and just eat the hit from the trooper. So I'm certainly considering that as well.
It's killing time.
But or we go kill it with our Shinobi.
Yeah, we can. I was going to say kill probably the Rocketeer with the Shinobi.
You're just lucky they don't let me use
We're gonna
If we can
assume
reach
that
that.
we're gonna get 4 points of damage here, hopefully from the Trojan.
Trojan's also going to stun for a turn, so you have another turn before you actually have to kill the mech in the first place.
Then yeah, let's get this Rocketeer killed with this Shinobi. Let's.
I got it, right?
Can we vault the trooper? Is he in range? He shot
don't-
us. He must be.
We don't have tier 2 gauntlets though. I can void conduit him. Which maybe I move and void conduit. That way our gunner then gets area suppression here or a kill. Or we hack, kill. Yeah, oh, okay, I see a lot of options here. I think this is a hack though to begin with.
infiltrating their system.
So in Long War of the Chosen, all classes can use a pistol skill. You just need to scroll down on their skill trees. It's below their XCOM row perk. It currently costs soldier or XCOM AP or soldier AP to get pistol perks. So right now we have an option between a small supply cache at 92% or 41% for a large cache of supplies. We're fairly healthy on both of these. I actually probably would make an argument to go for the supplies, simply because we can then buy more alloys with the 75 supplies we would get from this if we need to. And a small cache of alloys is what, 5 to 8?
Yeah, and I think isn't it static 10?
Oh, is it?
One alloy?
It might be. It would not surprise me.
But it's I think 75 for the large supply cache, so
Yeah.
very tempting to go for that.
Drats, we gambled. It's okay, we're healthy enough as is, which is why we can take those gambles.
Got it.
At least on the supplies we're healthy enough, huh?
Yep.
Confirm successful acquisition of the Advent files. Eliminate any remaining hostiles in the area.
All right, I think for safety, small cache is 10, large is 20. Okay, perfect, good to know.
The void is
Think for safety, we're just gonna void conduit We'll deal with the advent mech next turn. We're gonna see about killing both of these lost.
We have a SMG for the 2 HP one, and then we can actually start shooting the mech with the gunner
Yep.
if we get the kill here.
That was my thought process. And hi, Dad. I don't know if I said hi to you.
X-ray neutralized. I'm running low on ammo.
Yeah, the issue currently with pistols, though, are they typically tend to be, relatively low power without investment because they require AP, which is already a pretty valuable resource. I personally don't invest in pistols very much, if at all, in a normal Long War of the Chosen campaign. That's the map. Cleaned, dusted, killed. We now get to pick up all this loot and just wait for our evac. One of the benefits of our success here, no one's injured, and we have a UFO to queue up.
It's injured, you have Oak to clean up, and the mission was fairly quick, so we should also be really good on the willpower loss from this mission, so probably everyone here can go on that UFO, actually.
Ready to go. Rock and roll. Rock and roll.
Not a bad mission. Evac coming out in one turn. I am just going to overwatch everyone near the evac position. Kind of actually want to make sure that...
Moving to Overwatch. I'll stay put.
Scanning.
Well, actually, Lost isn't really going to have much of an issue coming at us right now, right? Like, they're not going to get any action. It's just get close. So the only one we have to watch out for is going to be a grappler, really.
Still up.
That all you got?
Target eliminated.
Who needs a headshot mechanic?
Has to be dead.
That shotgun specialist value.
This is Firebrand. It's time to go.
If your dad works at Firaxis, he can buff pistols.
I can handle
You know, if Firaxis would love to get involved with the Long War of the Chosen project, there is a couple things that we would love to have fixed in the engine itself. Things like fake cover, removing of the covert cards from the starting screen that they can't seem to remove. There's this thing where you can't remove Bradford from any of these missions, or it literally just breaks the game. So Firaxis, you want to help us out?
Also, that crate spawning on the roof in the Lost City map.
Oh yeah, crate spawning.
The only thing standing between us and 12 crate missions.
Fix your damn game, Jake. While they're at it, they could just integrate most of the Highlander as well.
Into a Halloween theme park.
No promotion, sadly.
Just what we needed.
Do want to take a moment to look at our technical. 25 kills in 12 missions. I mean, our Templar is pretty close behind, but a technical keeping up there, that's pretty good. 3 more Illyrium cores, combat awareness, defense, autoloader, and will. Fantastic.
Wish we still had that Illyrium core deal.
So we did only get a 7-day timer here, which I'm okay with. I'm going to take this. We have the people we want for this.
Amount of psionic energy
Or at least we can
permeating
figure
the
out.
entire
Storm
area,
Sitrap.
Commander. I would expect
Technet,
we
how
will
are
find
ya?
various psionically adept aliens deployed in the field here.
We don't have Sectoid Corps to bring mind shields.
So that's gonna be, well, yeah, sectoids and priests, maybe advanced priests. I don't know. I don't think.
We shouldn't have advanced priest at this force level just yet, I don't believe.
Where is my handy force chart?
Templar Specialist, Technical Sharpshooter. Honestly, I may want the Grenadier, especially if I think we're only getting tier 1 priest. Flashbangs can do a lot of value there, including disable sustain.
Mark II priest starts showing up at force level 8.
Oh, we're at 6. We're not even hitting 7 at that point.
Okay.
Okay, so I want the Grenadier. And then do I want the Gunner or the Shotgun Ranger for this? Actually, wait. Oh, I want a Shinobi. Spooky Boo is gonna come join us, I think. Now, something to consider. Do we want to spend intel on this?
So without intel, you can get in 6 people, right? I'm seeing that correctly.
Yep.
I don't think we kind of need to expand. If we really spend intel now, we don't have any other mission giving us intel queued up. That will really put us behind. I think we just have to take it, play it cleanly, get the 16 to 18.
Well,
kills.
I can't wait for you to play this next week. Whatever I set up right now.
I've got still two more hours of stream to go. I'm sure we get to the UFO mission.
Oh, let's hope not. All right, so things to consider about investing in here, though, are: do we want to invest in some better SMGs? Do we want to invest in better armor? I think armor is the way to go.
Yeah, SMGs are not really necessary. No,
In fact,
armor's good.
We're gonna get at least 3 armor out right now. I'm gonna make an executive decision here and say this is a worthwhile investment to get some more Predator armor out. I don't know if we need Predator armor on our Sharpshooter, which is why I'm considering only 3, but I definitely think our specialists, especially the specialist with the shotgun, which we may want to consider going into a rifle, the Shinobi and the Grenadier are all high value targets to have the Predator armor. Maybe not the Grenadier so much, but still, they have to be close enough to get these grenades off. Consideration here is maybe switching out for a laser rifle over the shotgun, just for not having to close the distance as much necessarily with our specialist.
Yeah, I'm good either way. Like, I still think he has good mobility to get close in range, but I also don't think he's going to be doing much shooting anyway. He has airdrop, and we have an offensive Grenadier, which is going to be dropping grenades. Oh no, it's not.
So I would
offensive Grenadier. It's a regular.
I would consider a gunner, other than the fact that our bonds don't align properly with that, and I definitely want to keep our bonds together. The person I would bring a Grenadier potentially over on this mission would be maybe the technical, since I do have the Grenadier and I want the Grenadier, especially with Psionic Storm. So that being the case, I'm going to keep the technical here. The flamethrower will be more than enough. The rocket will help open it up, and so the gunner doesn't really have a proper spot here.
Yeah, no, you're right.
How many Predator armors would you consider enough? Depends. It really depends on what we're doing and what missions. If I'm doing HQ assault, probably 8, because I'm assuming I still have 2 sharpshooters there, so maybe even 7. You might be able to get away with 7 the entire time before you get Warden armor out. It really just depends on what your roster's looking like, your current power level to Advent, and how far advanced you are. The more advanced you are with your weapon tech, the less you need to rely on your armor tech. We had an opportunity to get Predator out early for a low research cost, and so we got out early, so we're certainly going to have more Predator armor, I think, on this campaign than I would typically, as my normal research tech ends up me going into like Mag, Predator, Coil, Warden, and so since there's less time for me to invest in that Predator armor, I tend to invest heavier into Warden at that point. I think I'm fine with everything here. Wondering if I want to throw anything here. I'm thinking about crits. I'm not really seeing anyone who's getting a lot of crits that's going to do a lot of value for me.
Could always go with agility. So I see Masa or Sharpshooter having a willpower PCS. We have a depth perception line around, but I also think he probably has low willpower, and there's a reason he has that PCS.
I think it's plus 16, so he's at 22. 22 will.
Ooh, that's a hard. You know what? Considering on a UFO map, if we're unlucky we don't have high ground anyway, I would not go with the depth perception at this point.
Yeah, I don't think I can justify our way into that right now. I am going to throw an autoloader onto our shotgun here. Everything else is fine. As far as our Shinobi goes, dodge is not actually bad here. What's our base dodge? We're at 20 dodge already. I think we actually do this because as you get more dodge, each point becomes more valuable, right? Getting up to 32 base dodge is quite a lot of chances to reduce hits from grazes to miss and hits to grazes, right? I think I'm selling myself on this.
I'm a big fan of the agility PCS on my Shinobis.
Yeah, especially when you already have 20 innate dodge. This is like hoplite territory in some other campaigns. Even our Templar has 20 dodge.
Does that include the 10 dodge from combatives?
Oh gosh, probably.
I'm not sure it's listed in the stats. It's maybe just applied in the mission.
Yeah, we should take a look in the mission and see what we're at. Very nice. All right, we're gonna take a 16 to 18 UFO with 6-man. I think I'm happy with this. Hopefully we get another Lancer Corps and can invest in that research to get these tier 2 gauntlets out. Something I just realized is I immediately want nanoscale on my Shinobi. Yeah. I'm gonna leave a flashbang. Oh, actually, my technical should not even have a flashbang. We have 2 flashbangs coming off a Grenadier. If we really need more than that, we may have some other issues. So I think I'm gonna bring the frag grenade.
There's an argument to be made to not even bring that, since you do have 2 frag grenades from airdrop that you can give.
And just keep the extra mobility. Actually, you know what? Then instead, I'm okay with giving up 1 more mobility. Let's grab a nanoscale as a precaution here. Yeah,
yeah, that's good. That
yeah, certainly.
Really tanky.
You would think it would show up, but like we've seen numerous issues with feedback on the screen here versus the tactical, and so that's why when I say we're going to check the tactical, let's check the tactical, and not just be guessing.
Some perks apply the stats directly, some perks only apply it in the mission. It's a little bit inconsistent there, so...
Alright, we are not boosting that. We have 114 intel. As much as I would love to keep 30 intel as a precautionary measure for anything that may pop up, at this point, I think we have to expand. We need this 3rd region contact immediately. With the vigilance so high in Western Europe, we have a feeling that either West Africa or Eastern Europe are bringing their strength over this way, but that doesn't really matter when we have a 200 intel cost for both of these havens. Actually, this is 134, but that's a 4. And Hidden Sage, how are you? So I think we need to make contact over here in New Brazil or New Mexico. Now, New Brazil isn't...
New Mexico.
Yeah, New Brazil is an interesting option, certainly because it's probably feeding strength into both of these, even though it can only queue up 1 at a time. Probably has mediocre vigilance. But New Mexico, I think, gives us a better option of starting to expand out, giving us access to Western Europe. Hopefully these 5 aren't faceless and we can quickly get a liberation chain started, because that's certainly one thing we're very, very delayed on in this campaign.
Commander, we've utilized all of our available communications.
There's also, so some missions increase vigilance both in the region itself and in a neighboring region, and with New Brazil being adjacent to both regions where we've been active in, we could have some spillover vigilance already there. I think the UFO does.
Yeah, so does supply raids. Alright, so I'm actually going to drop out one of our engineers here so we can finish clearing up some of this debris where we're looking at potentially throwing a workshop. But I do think that investing into alloy plating right now is a worthwhile investment. We're going to be getting more trooper corpses from this UFO. We do have some trooper corpses in storage currently, and it's a 7-day project. It's not going to help us in any of our current missions, but our next cycle it might.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll send word as soon as we're finished, Commander.
So we don't have enough for the workshop yet, which I do think this is a good investment though. So we may want to hit up the black market after we finish making contact. But for now, I think I'm going to throw probably both just onto the straight supplies right now.
Yeah.
Weapon mods aren't even a consideration for us. Strength did go up to strength 3, which is to be expected. Man, there's a world where we don't take retaliation and we go on hiding. There's also a world where we leave it on intel and just keep scanning over here. Seeing as we've only had one Haven really on intel since our last retaliation because of high strength, I think
I
our
don't think
bucket's
the
not
bucket
filled.
is. Yeah, exactly. I think we still have some more time, and with once we finish making contact, the bucket size actually grows, so it takes more intel to trigger the retaliation. So unless we trigger it in the next 31 hours, we should be good for a while.
4 days, 15 hours for Liberation 2. We just are not pulling that timer off in a timely manner, which is a damn shame. We don't have the intel to boost that mission, so looking to queue that up at this time is just not really viable, sadly.
New regional contacts.
We have revealed the Hunter, and if we take a look at the Hunter perks, they have moving target, instant reaction time. While Chosen are not active after Force Level 3, they just spend their time training, so they're just going to keep gaining perks. The Warlock here is the unknown one right now, and they're going to keep training and have a whole lot of perks as well. So, for them man the mission like a boss? No. This is the over-explained campaign on how we would do things on proper decision making, and we're not taking risks like that and doing one-offs. We are at a Strength 1 region with Vigilance 1, which is very, very nice to see. And now we have another decision we want to make concerning retaliation and the like. With some of our folks currently occupied on a smash and grab in the UFO, with Strength potentially going from Strength 5 to 4 here, and us actually wanting to consider taking retaliation and full retaliation once we have soldiers available, I think the smarter play is to go on hiding here, putting 2 on recruit and just focusing fully over in New Mexico.
Commander, we currently have no new supplies
Yeah,
coming in.
and
We'll
I'm
need to
even
seek out new means
considering
of
what we
replenishing
did
our
when we
resources.
uncovered Western Europe, what didn't pan out at all. In New Mexico, we could put in the scientist because the missions just spawned, right? To get some good timers, maybe?
Absolutely. Always on board to throw the scientist in for that 20% value. I do want to actually keep that soldier there, but I do want to go on hiding, and we're going to go 2 on recruit to try and fill this haven up for when Vigilance finally drops again. So the reason we want to go on hiding and we're not looking to take intel retaliation or full retaliation at this moment is a lot of our top units are locked up on missions that are of importance to us. This smash and grab is going to have a small chance to go vulnerable, but a 10 to 12 smash and grab with Lost extract on a abandoned city is certainly doable. The UFO is maybe going up in strength, but probably not for the amount. It's not really too much of a concern. Right now, it's about getting these other people we have on missions, as we want to try and get a 3rd and 4th mission out. And so avoiding the retaliation is going to help avoid the wounds, going to prevent the capture, especially when we don't have a whole lot of funds to invest in more equipment necessarily at this time, while we let things like mag weapons catch up. Get these missions, just let the geoscape settle itself while we're pushing forward. So that smash and grab is ready to go. Since 1 strength just moved into here, there is a cooldown on how often strength can move into a region, and this is based on the receiving region. So Western Europe only can have 1 strength being moved in from a supply rate at a time from any of its connecting regions. Since Western Europe is connected to Eastern US, West Africa, and Eastern Europe, only one of them was able to move in strength the last time. There is now another mission that had to be queued up. This mission can range from 6 to 10 days. So we know we have at least 6-day grace period. I got 20 hours on this. Letting this go vulnerable is going to give us an easier mission, hopefully a safer time, get us more supplies and alloys and Illyrium, because we're going to be able to grab more chests. Right? I'm looking to run most of my missions at 7 to 9.
Yeah, definitely run down the 20 hours, yeah.
So we did hit the vulnerable at 14 hours in. I'm absolutely just going to take this now. 7 to 9 is the lowest we're going to get, even though it's technically considered a strength 2, and we could go to strength 1 and knock an enemy off. 7 to 9 is never an issue at all. So we're going to take this. It's also going to have the loss. We have the Grenadier, Ranger, Sharpshooter, Shinobi, and Specialist. Specialist is looking a little weak here, but we do have the combatives with our Shinobi. Sharpshooter does have Death from above. Ranger taking 2 shots, AP rounds, and Grenadier. Let's get some more lost out at sometimes. Well, let's go dive into this in this very sometimes a bugged mission where 12 crates, while an expectation, is highly likely to not be a reality. There is potentially 3 crates that could show up that are in bugged positions that you have no way to gain access to.
Always ready for an excuse to not get 12 crates, huh?
If frickin' Jake would fix his damn game.
Alright, while the mission's loading in, I'm gonna take a quick AFK. I'll be back in 2.
Sounds good.
Advent forces are in the process of airlifting a number of supply crates out of this area, and we have an opportunity here to take a few for ourselves.
All right.
Locate and mark the crates with
Shush, Bradford.
transponders, and Firebrand will handle the rest.
They are not Masa at all. The crates back on this back building. There is nowhere for you to actually walk on without TTCing you up. There is no position for your grappling hook to go. They have tried to fix it. It's an issue with the map itself. So this map layout typically has a U-shaped area right here, which is going to have several crates in the area. There's a bridge up a little bit further, which is going to have multiple crates on it, and potentially crates in the back. See, we only have 10 crates here. 10 out of the 12, so it even tried spawning 2 that are in inaccessible locations, and there still could be 1 that did register, but you're not able to get to. Something that I see newer players struggle with at times here is actually getting your characters through this minefield almost of alert sounds. If you notice right here, there's windows that are broken and unbroken, and if you just dash your character may end up taking well, not in that case, but it may end up taking a position through a window that it doesn't need to. If you don't know this already, left control by default allows you to waypoint your character, and so this is what we're going to do to try to get ourselves forward. Typically, you have about 2 turns without really anything that's going to spot you out. There is probably a drone wandering around the map, somewhere on the back, or maybe even somewhere in this restaurant right here. That is kind of like your landmine to watch out for. Knowing this map, though, I am just going to start moving forward. I'm going to try and get up and get a position in front of these crates so that I can get better vision on where they are and decide how to progress from there. So we're going to waypoint our people into here.
Rolling out.
And maybe drop our shinobi down next turn.
Time to motor.
To try and get vision of the area that we want to go to. Hi, Peach. You want to say hi to everyone? Hi. I know we're doing an over-explained campaign. What time is it? Is it your dinner time? It is your dinner time. I guess campaign's over for the day, guys. The cat has spoken. And she's just the cutest. Aren't you just the cutest, Peach? You gonna fall asleep now? The second cutest? Peach, do you hear that? You're the second cutest cat. I can't play, guys. I can't do anything now. I have a cat in my arms. All right, let's go get you dinner, okay? Let's go get you dinner. Give me a moment, guys. Oh, no offense taken, Hidden Sage. I'm happy that Peach is considered the second there. All right, I do actually want to get some information out here. So we're going to use this waypointing system to try and get our shinobi out. Hopefully not getting spotted by this drone.
Hostiles making the rounds.
And we're immediately going to find our first pod and the drone. We do have a scout purifier. Now, one thing this is going to let us do, now that we have some information, is we're going to be able to at least get up to these ledges or know where we can get up to these ledges without triggering the reveal. And this is important for a lot of reasons. Because we don't play with any mods that change any of these gameplay mechanics or intended mechanics, like peek from concealment. Having that information is absolutely vitally important to finding success. And not getting revealed early.
Copy that.
Alright, I'm back. And you're still
Welcome
in
back.
concealment.
I am.
What is
Peach.
this?
Peach came and interrupted real quick, so I've just been explaining how because we don't use mods like peek from concealment and play true to like the intent of the game, having information on things are very important before you get to ledges, especially from higher up. While like height does give you aim advantage and line of sight advantage, right? Like you need to know where you can actually move, or moving to a ledge can reveal you as you are peeking over it, as you would peek around a corner.
So basically the value of having one person or maybe two on the low ground to scout from there so the others know which ledges are safe.
Moving to position.
The value of a shinobi and why it is number one in my heart. Now I do know about this pod, but now I also have vision of these drones, it seems, though I'm not exactly sure how I have vision of the second drone. And so I don't... I should be able to trust this information if that's as far as this drone can see.
Yeah, you don't see the purifier though. Who's... Oh, do you?
I don't have targeting on the purifier, so I can't trust what the game is telling me about the purifier right now. At least for the vision perspective. But the purifier is not peeking around this corner, so I should really be safe to move to this position. The problem is, though, this is our sharpshooter, and our sharpshooter really gets no value from this position long term. Instead, we want to get our sharpshooter in a position like right up here, or right, really in this corner, if we can. I am going to take this opportunity, though, to get my ranger brought up to this full cover position where no one is peeking over. I think I want to bring my grenadier here. You'd be peeking around this corner, you're not peeking over, right?
Heading to that location. We've got a hostile squad
Didn't you have someone with an SMG who could go on the balcony?
Yeah, I got Bao Chica here, but I don't know if this guy can see, right? Like, this scout is only one tile off from seeing us.
But Scout has higher detection range than a purifier. So I think you should be safe more than that.
I'm gonna trust Ava on this one. Okay, so now we have full information on where they can actually see. Scaring me, Ava.
Trust me, it's like Scouts have like easily 2 or 3 tiles more
Good to go.
detection range than purifiers.
So I'm leaving Astro Boy in this position because I'm probably gonna want to be able to take out one of these drones, or if these guys move into a better position there.
Overwatch.
We're gonna take it a little bit slow right now. We want to get in a position to quickly eliminate the scout and purifier as well, as these are pretty dangerous threats. The purifier can take a big hit. The scout, of course, with Shadow Step, reduces the effectiveness of any Overwatch trapping we may want to set up, as well as can do a lot of damage itself. It has 80 base aim, which is quite a lot. Hi Peach, welcome back. Now this is quite hard to say no to start things off right now. In fact, I think we can get the full crit with a precision shot. 100% chance to crit.
But do you need it? You have AP ammo, right? So even a normal hit kills the thing.
Oh yeah, but I meant for overkill explosion, but that's not how explosion works, so yeah.
No.
Don't even need it.
I sometimes feel like, yeah, a crit should also always explode. That would be a nice addition, but unfortunately not. So those not aware, purifiers have a 50-50 chance to explode. It's 100% if you blow them up with explosives yourself, and it's a 0% chance if you skulljack them.
Yeah, I think we just start with this, and then we work on finishing off the drones and the scout. Let's get these guaranteed kills. Let's start marking our crates.
We're in their sight.
We did pull this off at a 7-9, so eliminating 4 of the 9 off the bat is quite nice to help us gather crates. If you notice off as well, we only have 10 crates on this. We didn't even generate 2 of them.
And chances are, of those 10, some might be on the roof and inaccessible.
Yep. All
So
right.
can we grenade both drones here? Without hitting the crate? Probably not. Maybe?
I might need to move position to do it, but there might. I don't think there is a world, sadly.
Our Ranger is the one on the other window, right? Can he both barrels the scout?
Oh, I think he can. And if this it does aggro too much more, we can always command him out.
I'm trusting you here.
I think we're taking that risk. I think eliminating the scout's biggest threat right now.
I think that's our most reliable way of dealing with the scout right now.
I think I have to double barrel this. Just because we've been low rolling all day, and I know that's not how stats work.
Yeah.
But that's still only a 50% chance to be enough to kill it.
Yeah, I think, and you don't need the both barrels for the rest of the mission. I think. I'm actually surprised that it only shows 7% grace chance because they do have 15 dodge.
Yeah, Peach is being a little needy right now. I apologize, guys.
And 21 might have been slight overkill, but not, you know. So we only have a single command, right?
We do have revival protocol though. We have revival protocol.
Could command our sharpshooter to kill, or I think we just haywire one of them, right?
Yeah, I think we go for a grenade kill. Colin lost. What's the meta for poster designs? Delete them as soon as possible so they don't take up disk space and and clog your drives.
Don't listen to this heathen. Definitely get the calendar pose mod and the additional other pose mod from Klex. And if you think he's a really cool modder, then certainly don't Google his other mods that might not be on the Steam Workshop.
Look, the more data you have, for some reason, the more posters you have and the more saved games you have causes longer load times when doing Gatecrasher. This has been proven, and it's freaking ridiculous that this is a thing, right? So if you're someone like me who loves Gatecrasher tremendously, right, having quick Gatecrasher load times is a very, very important part to every campaign. So we do have a drone up that there's nothing I'm going to be able to do about. So we're going to hope that he's not going to go for Bauchika here. I actually now, in hindsight, think this position I threw my Shinobian's bad.
Can you move Chromotics? Yeah, exactly. That's because that's going to get reviewed by that drone.
Yeah, I realized that as I was moving. So, yeah.
All good.
That grenade did so little damage against that drone. I was so disappointed.
Advent has already marked a couple of crates for extraction. If we move quickly, we may
It's a challenging one to get. That's a fairly easy one to get.
Question is do I really want to reveal my Shinobi to get that one? I might.
Grenadier can probably get that. Now, is anyone in range? Look, I mean, Rangers are normally super valuable, right? But this specific Ranger might be expandable enough to get that crate.
Maybe. I think we're gonna have no bystanders, and by that I mean we're gonna need to reveal our Shinobi, because I do need to kill both these drones here right now this turn. We're not gonna get that crate. More than likely, we're actually gonna be bringing our specialist down to mark this crate and shoot a lost. We will mark that crate though, but I'm gonna have to grenade those lost. It's kind of just one of those things that's gonna have to happen. Hey, Chaos, how are you? You know, gotta kill lost and get more lost out. Which would be nice if Advent wanted to come, you know, start cleaning them up for us. But I don't really have an efficient way of cleaning all these lost up. The other option, of course, is bringing Komotics up and hoping they go for him and then Combatives killing them. Even though it's only going to be one attack and one kill that they get, because they changed how Lost work. Lost all attack the same target at the same time now. And that's just certainly a way to help give some advantage to Lost. I do think the biggest threat here is going to be the grappler. And I am just going to start marking supplies so that we can start getting them out.
Not even close.
Yeah, I think we have to grenade this. And then we just shoot this lost. Because the grappler actually won't get close enough to us.
On the move.
Yeah, I think that might be the plan. I'm still disappointed that you didn't risk that ranger's life.
That ranger shares my family name. Like, you know, if his name had something like Ava in it or something, like maybe. So neither of these lost are actually going to get close enough to us. We do get death from above from this, so I do think we just remove the grappler from the equation right now, since we know more lost are going to be coming out. And something I didn't do that I should have, but thankfully we do have time, is get down a evac. Not even 10 crates, I know. How disappointing.
I wonder what Bradford says about that crate.
He's just saying... Never mind. I was gonna say something, but then he started talking.
Firebrand is on deck for recovery. Keep marking those crates, Menace 1-5.
So Keeve, how are you? Alright, I do want that loot, without a doubt. I want to start grabbing crates, without a doubt.
I got it, right? Ready to go. Moving to position.
And something I didn't notice is that there is a crate up here, and this should hopefully, in theory, not trigger any pods. The odds of a pod actually being on the bridge before you engage them is relatively low.
I mean, it's you know, anecdotal evidence, but I don't think I've ever had a pod up there.
Neither have I, but I don't like saying impossible when pod placements are often determined based on your starting location, right? How pods tend to generate, at least on the schedules, has to do with your position, and then there's an offset from your position on an X and Z value, right? And so I don't want to say impossible. Improbable is much more accurate. I am marking all these crates, which maybe in hindsight's not always the best idea, but I certainly want the opportunity to. And I forgot once again to throw evac. So let's not forget once again. Look, I'm giving Advent a chance.
This is Firebrand. Evac request confirmed. Hold tight.
It's on.
On the move.
But yeah, probably the crate up at the train car might have been better to not mark that yet. That's a...
That's a crate I'm not going for. There's more than likely a pod back here that I just don't have vision on.
If you say so.
Yeah, I'm not even sure now that you have your Shinobi in position at that crate without any movement left. Can you even risk activating something?
Oh,
apparently you can.
Oh, I'm risking it.
Looks pretty tough.
The shield bearer is going to go for shields. The Rocketeer is certainly a risk.
How many is that now?
Too bad that's an SMG on a flank there. 47's interesting. We could go with a grenade, draw more lost out.
You could go for the SMG shot, and if you're lucky enough to hit for 4, then you have Executioner. No, you don't have Executioner yet.
I have walk fire.
Shot wide.
I actually think this is more about just spreading out right now, so he doesn't feel compelled to rocket while flanked. Chaos, how are you, man? Good to see ya.
Move.
So you know what? That's exactly what I'm gonna do. So I'm not gonna get these kills right now, right? I don't think I want to use 2 ammunition. Look, we got our 4 crates. We got the mission experience, which is certainly the most important thing coming out of this mission. Getting a few more crates. While nice, like there's two nearby.
Target's still up.
Won't be the end of the world if we miss out on them. We have a lot of supply options coming up right now. This is a hard mission, not really hard until now.
So here's something interesting. The shield bearer ran back to do the shields, which means that there's probably the pot back there which he wanted to hit with the shields, and I say that just as that pot reveals.
Yes, and it's a priest. There's also a mech in that group.
I really think we might have to bombard the Grenadier. The Rocketeer, I mean.
Yeah, I think we need Lost out.
Let's take 2 shots with a logical. Like the second shot with walk fire is 90%, right? So we might be able to. Well, that's a good lost spawn.
That was like the best lost spawn we could ask for it, because then now these guys are all in line of sight. Too bad a typing hate is still within vision of this priest, because if Advent has vision of one unit, they have vision of all units. They know where you are, so they can move in based off that. If we did not have vision of the priest from a typing hate, there is a world where we could pull back and they would prioritize hopefully the lost, as those would be seen as the threats that are things
So
they can
you
actually
kill the priest.
That's what I'm thinking. I think we start with the 74 and see where we go from there.
Why not start with the ranger shots? Like if we get the kill on the sniper, he can steady again.
Because
I
I didn't think we would crit that.
What kind of shot was that? Holy. I think you walk fire?
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know right now. I'll say that. We hit a 40% and crit the 70 that high. Freaking completely ignoring a sustain mechanic. Now the thoughts are to consider it's a shield bearer and a mech. Mechs are dumb against the Lost, right? Lost group up when they're going to aggress on us, so it's more than likely going to be a rocket. Our play right now, I think, is actually needs to fall back. This might just be fall back, command to fall back, fall back, fall back. Lost are going to congregate up. They're not going to have enough mobility to reach us. I think I'm giving up the crates. I think a Lost mission is putting us in a position right now where being overly aggressive is just going to jeopardize our safety. And I think these crates that are left, these 2 crates, are not worth wound timers right now.
I can see that argument. I think I agree with it. I still think you're chicken shit for doing that, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm okay with that. I accept it. Yeah, see you being in full cover, I might actually keep you in that position though.
Copy that.
Like, there's no way that the mech can run out and take a shot at you if you fall back into that half cover there.
You think?
That's so far away. Yeah.
Okay, I'll go.
I think I'm going to this full cover, yeah.
On your order.
That'll be fine. Now, if only someone had thrown evac earlier. Is that Lost blocking the next path right now? Is that my like new favorite Lost?
It could be. Crate and that loot.
Locked and loaded.
Did he just... Grenade for no reason whatsoever. Okay, cool.
He grenaded. I think there's a little delay. My internet's acting up, and I apologize, guys. I do think he just grenaded 2 Lost back there that were blocking his path. I don't really want to use this grenade right now because I want these guys to come closer to us.
On Overwatch.
Come get some.
Dude, the mech AI is fantastic. I did forget that they were going to be moving first. That was why I went on Overwatch, but that's okay. Just a couple grapplers hanging out.
Grapple and chill.
I'm refraining from making my joke until we're not on air. You gonna take the flawless away from me? Nope. You're gonna suppress the Lost.
Well, that's cool. That means the grappler won't grapple us if we move faster.
Well, we're not even in the grappler range. I think we do need to take out the mech, though.
Like for dinner or with a sniper rifle?
Movie. Well, I think we start with a grenade.
Oh, suddenly it's reasonable to take the sniper shot last, huh?
Yeah. Suddenly it's reasonable. Friends. How is the shield bearer not active anymore?
Heading out.
That's very weird.
It's okay. We have plenty of actions, right, to start cleaning up Lost, and there's no way that shield bearer has any vision of us currently. He's so far back there, right? Like,
Yeah, and I think some Lost, like if he even comes in range, either he's gonna shoot the Lost or the Lost's are gonna go for him.
yeah, I'm hoping some split off that way. We're also going to bring our Shinobi in here to help at least protect with combatives the typing hate. Ooh, I can't get to the position I wanted to, and as well get the dasher.
Maybe just.
So this is a line of sight blocker, right? So he would have to come over from this way and then have potentially vision of the flank. If he comes this way, I think I can take that gamble when we have 24 dodge, so that I can at least protect a logical and shoot the dasher with the best shot possible.
Understood. Moving out.
Headshot is not a mechanic you need. Look, I've now played lots of time without it. It's fine. Lost hardly show up in Long War of the Chosen unless you have Lost World sit rep.
Yeah, keep in mind also, while the head lost mechanic was removed, it's also there are much fewer Lost on the map, so it's much easier to deal with them.
X-ray neutralized.
In just a spark of brilliance, putting Komotix exactly in that position was the play.
Target neutralized. Draining ammo fast.
We're green to go. It's killing
Lost
time.
and fun. Now those are words I didn't think I would hear together today.
Got it covered. Overwatch.
Look at that 7 on the Overwatch.
Yeah, Ranger Overwatch, really
This
good.
is Firebrand.
You wish
Time
he
to
had
go.
ever Vigilant, right?
Orders confirmed. Moving out.
Here I come. I'm on it. I guess that'll be okay.
Just quick walk fire for the kill.
Kill. Funny.
Could have focus fired first.
I got nothing.
All right, we're gonna take the
Not even close.
2% chance to graze with the SMG apparently from this position. Why is your aim so bad on that? Oh my god, you have 61 base aim. Look, Shield Bear, go and tell the story. Nah, Masa, you've watched enough of my campaigns. I take ever vigilant without taking coolant pressure and rapid reaction.
Status confirmed. Mission accomplished. Excellent work.
I'm an ever vigilant whore. We just flawless that. By the way, 25 out of 27. 6 crates. Certainly would have liked more value, but all things considered, not the worst thing I've seen.
Trust.
Ava is just speechless that we flawless that mission right now. Just absolutely amazed at
There's no way the aliens were expecting a fight like
the
that.
tact
No,
and
I'm just
control.
googling how to
Commander.
unsubscribe because 6 crates. Is that really worth my €4 a month?
Dude, we got that freaking 10 mil PCS right now. What are you talking about? Just taking a brief glance at our experience and seeing where we're at. And I mean, we're in a pretty healthy position with 4 staff sergeants, lots of sergeants, several corporals, lance corporals, squaddies. Well, I certainly would like to have more missions, and we're certainly hoping to grab a few right now. All things considered, it's not really that bad of a position to be in. Man, I really don't want to run this UFO today. Let me tell you, I've been playing for 7 hours. Is there any way you want to play this today, or are we just going until this is ready and we could do a full mission on this? I feel like this is going to take us over an hour and a half, to do.
In that case, I think let's just continue on Geoscape, and when the mission pops, we put in the end and continue with that next time.
Yeah.
This will prove to be an important
Because, I mean,
step
I think
forward.
that's a big mission, especially for an over-explained campaign. There's a lot of ways to approach it. So we did get our mag rifles out right now, which is quite a jump in tech power, right? And so now we have several things to consider on how we want to approach. Advanced mag weapons does seem like the logical next step, especially since we can afford it. Battle armor inspired would be nice, but this is really only giving us an exosuit and another way for us to spend money. And is an exosuit really worth our money right now compared to getting out advanced mag and investing in that further?
It does give us the upgraded armor for the Spark, although I'm not sure that's super high priority.
The Sunlancer Autopsy is also a good consideration, but we only have one, and we cannot guarantee that we're going to get another one on this upcoming UFO. We are at 8 Viper Autopsies, and so we just want to wait here to get this instant, so this is not something we're even considering.
So the experimentalist one I'm considering, Sunlancer Autopsy, just as in we gotta get it sooner or later anyway, and if we get the second Sunlancer Corps now, or from a rendezvous in the near future, or from a troop column, we don't have to wait another 4 days whenever we get the second corps, right? We can immediately say, oh cool, better upgrades.
What I'm actually thinking right now is this. I think this is Stunlancer Autopsy into experimental into advanced mag, and my thought with that is I think we want to go buy another scientist, right? So by doing a few of these projects that should take our resources, and we just rely a little bit longer on those advanced laser rifles and advanced cannons, we can get the value of hopefully getting a scientist and use some of the supplies from the UFO to get the advanced mag weapon out after that. So I think it's the Stun Lancer, with the hope that we get one on that UFO coming up in a few days. then probably into the experimental, so we can start doing the frost bomb and taking full advantage of that. Then really into advanced mag, and then into Illyrium after that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I would do too.
So I'm going to look for these missions first. We're just going to need to make a note that we do need to go to the black market to get that scientist before the next supply drop.
Yeah, I think we do it with the supplies we get from the UFO.
Alloy plating has
Commander.
come out, which is
If you need a
fantastic.
skulljack, we can build one
At this point, I actually think we're pulling the engineer out. I don't think... well, hazmat actually might be worthwhile and is a very, very good chest, as is Talon rounds.
What about... Yeah, Talon rounds...
Well,
it's another 20 supplies.
And officer corpses are a limiting factor here for us getting more value than just the one. I could see hazmat. I could.
Thing is, like personally, I've almost completely gone to exclusively nanoscale because the thing that's gonna kill me most is crits on my shows. Soldiers crits through full cover. And that's what hazmat protects you from.
There was also this discussion of getting the workshop out to start clearing these out more quickly. And so taking out our engineer here, getting the workshop up, might just be the value we want. I know it puts us a little bit behind supplies, but we're looking to get some more cores.
Commander?
And
yeah, I think with from the UFO we should get enough for the scientist, even if we start building the workshop now.
Yeah, we have 5 cores, which pays for the workshop. All right.
Workshop construction initiated.
So let's do that. That's going to help us clear these out. Hopefully help get our additional supplies from this and get down to our exposed power coils for the lab that we are certainly looking to get sometime in the future. 7-day, 13-hour for resistance personnel. This is a fantastic mission in New Haven. Ideally, one of the first ones we always want to see. We want to fill this haven up. We want these personnel.
Did you see
here.
that first soldier on the list?
I set it to random only, but it definitely looks like this is not random only on one of those.
Well, the other thing is one of them is a Lance Corporal Grenadier, not a rookie.
Oh yeah, did we let someone get captured, didn't we?
I don't remember that, but it must have been, right?
It wasn't on the Chosen Retaliation, so when did we... I thought that was my personal campaign where I lost a bunch of people.
But in your personal... So, someone...
Maybe this isn't...
I'm not sure if it was in the Discord or on Reddit, was saying they had a mission where to free a captured soldier that they lost on the previous campaign. Like, they hadn't lost a single soldier yet on this campaign, and they had a mission to rescue a soldier from... that was a soldier from their previous campaign. And I'm like, could this somehow get in there?
Hey guys, you know when I lost that campaign the other day? We lost like 3, or had 3 bleeding out, and had to go get someone get captured. Was that a Grenadier?
Is Donna Cole a character from your character pool?
I'd have to see the nickname. The Penguin Plump looks like a character from my pool, but this might be randomly generated.
Well, Penguin is definitely from your pool. That's for sure.
Okay.
Like, I don't think Penguin can create as a regular first name. Anyway, let's set up the mission.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun to see. Is that like a paying it forward type of mechanic? Anywho, Ranger, Grenadier, Shinobi, Sharpshooter, quite a solid starting squad here. We are certainly looking to add a specialist to the mix. Gonna take a look real quick. No Haven advisors or anyone a part of this squad. So I think we want to grab probably our officer specialist, right? Keep the promotion going, get the experience going as best we can here. We are going to be able to take 6 as well. Now we do have quite a bit of power with this squad between the grenades, the ranger, the shinobi, and the sharpshooter, right? We just saw basically these 4, actually these 5 are what we had on that previous mission, and even kind of in a bad situation on being able to aggress, we were doing quite well controlling it. So I think we want to like look more at someone who's a lower rank here, try to bring them up. The spark is tempting, but I think the spark offers enough power by itself to help carry maybe another squad for another mission we have coming up soon, right? And
Yeah.
so I'm leaning much more into a gunner. I think we need to get one of these gunners up. Isn't Paulo the blessed gunner? But Paulo is bonded with someone, so we'll leave them for. Here, let me do this real quick. That's a ranger with Paulo, so that'll be our next team, as well as having like a technical assault to keep those bonds together. So we could bring Ward Squared here, who is not blessed but is still a gunner. And can I? Well, this is Paulo's cannon, which we're never touching, right? He gets those upgrades every time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that go to him.
Yeah. We probably have a little bit of armor available that I might want to give to our shinobi. And maybe our gunner as well here. Yeah. Pretty confident with this group. I don't think we need to upgrade the shotgun on our grenadier here.
Yeah, it should be more than enough. That's 7 to 9. Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Strength 1 region, like 7-8 enemies on the map.
Probably wipe out the first group with a grenade right away.
Sky Ranger deployed.
In position for deployment.
And there we go. A neutralized target with automated defenses. Now, we've already done a few of these. This is actually why we spiked vigilance so high in Western Europe. I don't know if our new region, our fresh region over here, is worth spiking vigilance in. Right? This would immediately put us over the vigilance that we have in Eastern US, which we're trying to get them to funnel all their strength over to Western Europe. But seeing as there's only one mission at a time that can funnel strength into here, if this is not the region that gets picked to funnel it here, it could funnel it this way. And we may want to hang off on that for just a little bit longer, right? We are considering retaliation at strength 4 for full retaliation and fishing for a troop column or two. So I don't actually think this is the mission for us right now.
It's tempting because it's a fairly nice chunk of intel there, but as you said, spiking vigilance, increasing vigilance, and this is what these get advanced attention mission do, is just not the right strategic move at this point.
Yeah. All right, that UFO is about ready to go. Should we put a cut in here and strength went up? Focus on this next week.
19 to 21 with a squad of 6. That's gonna be spicy one. Yeah, let's keep that.